Do not adjust your radio dial. You are tuned in to the Mark Order Podcast. Join the Mark Order.
I just did Ace Ventura.
I was gonna ask, like, what are we doing here?
I don't know, man. I guess just how we're feeling today, like Ace Ventura. But it is.
Yeah, I guess I could do the mask.
Oh, we're smoking on a Wednesday night. The Mark Order Podcast. Here on the Shining Wizards Network, episode 68, Ryan. 68. One more week, baby. We're bringing all the heat next week. I mean, we're bringing it this week, but next week, oh man. We're going to all wear some sexy stuff. And if you know what we're talking about, you're with it. Well, it'll come up again eventually. But we're going to wear some low-cut tops next week. You know, we're going to really bring the fire next week.
How about the idea that you and I would be the ones to show off cleavage? Like, keep Kate fully dressed. You and I.
Turtleneck, like she's Christian. Well, I mean Christian Cage. I mean, you know, she could be whatever she wants to be, but you know.
Yeah,
anyway,
with the Christian Cage look.
That's it. It's the Mark Order Podcast here on the Shining Wizards Network, episode 68. Holy moly, the Yankees just tied it. Right now it's the 2 live crew. That's two for me, 2 for you. There you go. We're getting, see, Ryan, it only took us how long and we're finally getting the hand gestures?
It should also point out that we must do it just the 2 of us so much that we figured out we needed a hand gesture.
You gotta. But it's Ryan Schlong and AntMoney with you right now. Apparently, in Hollywood, the clocks don't work the way they do here for the little people. Apparently, we'll have somebody else joining us here shortly.
You know how it is, guys. Grand entrance needs to let everyone know that they're here.
Yeah, you know, fashionably late. You know,
I won't name which member of the show this is because it's fun because everyone knows.
Or do they?
We are missing 2, but one is more Hollywood than the other.
That's very true. I do have to say this. Asian Joe just put it in there. Can Ant just tell Ryan to hand job me schlong, similar to scissor me? That's a little aggressive, Asian Joe, but I like where your head's at.
Well, wouldn't it be more like, see, hand job's too aggressive, but handy me. Give me the handy.
Handy me, daddy.
Yeah. That's because that could be something else.
Oh, man. This is talk we need to have next week, if I'm being totally serious.
I'm going to be honest with you. I know we're going to have RoH. It has to be taught. Whatever we do this weekend, next week it'll have to be talked about. I'm hoping the show is... I mean, I want Dynamite to be good next week, but part of me kind of hopes it's just a very bland show because I have a feeling wrestling will not be the most of our jokes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you think we already have a lot of puns and innuendo on this show, next week's going to probably be off the rail. I mean, we're juvenile enough to find the hilarity in episode Sexy 69. Nice. Anyway, what's good, Schlong? How are you? Hanging out with the core?
Yeah, sorry. I don't mean to be distracted. I think it was outside my window, but the echo was weird. It sounded like a dying animal.
Oh.
I'm going to look on cameras, but I don't think there's anything. I think it was just a weird sound of something, but...
All
Sorry,
right.
I'm
Well, no,
Call
you've just basically solidified all of my thoughts. We need to get you out, Ryan. You just said let me check the cameras. You got
You
to
don't
leave
have
the
like
house.
you don't have like Ring doorbells?
No,
Oh, they're the best for deliveries.
don't need it. Don't need it. Don't want it. You know, there's
Uh,
certain places where like the town gives them out, and it's like we have to access your camera all the time. I'm like, nope, not
No,
gonna
I
happen.
wouldn't do that. But truthfully, my car's been broken into. The one night I forgot to lock it, even though it has an auto lock feature. So the auto lock feature didn't work, and I forgot to lock it. And I usually do the double check. So since then, I'm like, you know what? Let me have a camera just to see if anyone walks in, I can maybe catch a license plate or something.
Makes sense. Makes it. Well. There he is. Can't hear you, but we like to see you, pal. I will say
I mean,
this:
he is more. We do like him more for his looks. So
we do looking good with the haircut. We're waiting for him to get his mic going. It's okay. You can just hang out there. For those not watching, Millionaire Matt is joining us. We got you now.
I just wanted to stop in and say hello.
Sitting back in your easy chair?
I just got out of the shower, man.
You're looking good, I'll tell you that much.
Did you get a haircut?
I did, man.
Matt, you're a week early with your low cut shirt. Next week is the week you got to bring the sex.
All right. Well, I'll try next week to bring the sex.
If you have booty shorts, you can wear them too.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
So what's happening, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. I just got home from work and I took a shower and I said in the group text message that I would just pop in and say hello since it's been a minute. So,
well, this is always
beat Kate here, so that's impressive.
That's true.
I was gonna ask where Kate was, but
well, the clocks work a little slower in Hollywood. She's, it's like going to a Dodgers game and you're an LA fan. She shows up in the fourth and she's gonna leave in the sixth.
Dang, that's cold.
But it's okay. Right. It's okay. Glad to have you here for a minute. How's things been work wise? Good?
Work is busy.
Mm-hmm.
As always, hot.
Always.
I don't think an oven helps.
No. Everyone's a comedian here. If you watch me on Monday nights, you'd know who I was.
Well, listen, they're here to see the A show.
I guess so.
So sometimes these guys don't always want to catch the B show.
They could also watch you on the Bread Club.
That's right. They could if they wanted their New Japan news.
I watched that today.
Oh, thanks, Brian. You're a swell guy. So we were supposed to have Kevin Kelly, but that kind of he had to take his new puppy to the vet.
Priorities, man. New puppy.
How you guys doing? I saw you on Sunday, Ant.
Yeah. I saw you.
Rock and roll show.
Rock and roll show was a lot of fun on a Monday night in Brooklyn, nonetheless. So that was, yeah, but it was definitely a show I wanted to see. So, so it was good. There was a band on there I've heard, I've really liked. They're called End, and they're like, you could tell they're like the next big thing in the scene because the place was fucking packed for them.
Oh yeah,
and then it cleared out. And that wasn't even a headliner. So it was pretty crazy that so many people were there just to see them and then bailed because the headliners were good.
All right.
They're no Limp Bizkit.
No, but there might have been as many people there as there were for Limp Bizkit at the Garden.
That's not good.
No.
Ryan, how are you, man? I feel like I haven't seen you in like forever.
Yeah, you've been too busy working. You got to stop that. Working's overrated.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that.
I'm good. Andy said I don't really have a. Hold on, gonna get distracted. Everyone, we got to make a show.
No, don't call any attention to it. It's okay.
Oh, but see, I want to. See, you and I do it oppositely. I want to call too much attention to it.
No. We can't take all the attention away from our special guest, Millionaire Matt.
I don't want any extra attention, man.
Why? We don't get you all the time in the summer, so I like to maximize our time with you. It's okay. All right, here, we'll just do this and we'll just keep quiet.
Okay.
I like it when Matt stops by for the summer.
He beat you here, Kate, and you're supposed to be here.
I know, but Buster got really fussy because I went to the beach all day.
Oh,
I can't-
all right.
The whole side of his face was scratched, so I don't know what's going on with him. You can see him scratching his face up against the beanbag chair thing right now. I don't know, but
Yeah, he's rubbing it.
yeah, I don't know. It's probably just little doggy allergies, but who cares? We're all here. Matt's here. It's the four horse people.
For a little bit. For a little bit.
For a little
Good.
bit. How you
Good
doing
dinner,
over
buddy.
there?
Good.
Living the dream?
Dreams can be nightmares, Kate.
It's true. It's true. A pizza truck on a 93-degree day.
The amount of people who don't the amount of people that don't know that the vodka and vodka sauce is cooked off, it literally blows my fucking mind.
Oh yeah.
Where people are
Wait,
like,
really?
they're like, is it the vodka sauce? Can I give that to my kid? I'm like, yeah, why? There's vodka in it. I go, it's cooked off, you tard. Get away from me. It's too hot for this shit.
That's
It
bad.
is. It is too hot for this shit.
Oh, man.
It's good to
so-
see you, Maddie.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody.
In fairness, the
do-
way I do my vodka sauces, I just pour vodka on it at the end.
Hey, whatever works, bro.
Or you just drink it while you're eating the pizza.
Just chug.
Yeah. I do. Again, I have a question. Kate mentioned it. She said, I went to the beach all day.
I did.
Where's all the content? Where's the thirst traps for us to be posting on social? Where's the
I posted one very tasteful bikini picture, just top up, but it's there. So I guess that's my thing. If I posted 2 pictures in a bathing suit on Instagram, and they were both on Mark order days, so you're welcome.
Well, that's how we move units, Kate. You got to send us the photo directly next time, and then we'll just post it and be like, if you want to see more of this, tune in tonight.
Right,
There
and then
you
you
go.
get this.
That's right.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Your lovely wife and the lovely Mrs. Money complimented my swimsuit on the Instagram, and I appreciated it.
Oh, I have no idea when you posted it. My days are spent off
normal?
sort of
Yeah.
offline. So I don't see a lot. And then at the end of the day, I don't really go back. But
What's wrong with that NWO shirt?
what's that?
What's wrong with that NWO shirt?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Why does the O look weird?
Because
It's a Ghostbusters.
this.
Oh.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
NWO ghosts? No NWO in the ghost? What is that?
Who cares, man? It's a blend of the things that I love.
You love
Wrestling
the
and
NWO?
ghosts. What?
You love the NWO?
It's wrestling related.
Okay. Did you open your crate on the podcast?
Well, Matt,
I
Were
miss
you
Matt
waiting?
so much. I miss Matt so much.
we got a crate right here. And Ryan goes, Kate's probably going to be glad she's missing crate talk. And I said, guess what? We'll wait. We'll wait till we have the whole crew here.
Wait for Kate for the crate.
I already
That's
opened
right.
my crate. I know what's in it.
But you were late.
Oh, my God. Let's
Open
the crate.
it. Open
open
it.
Kate,
Let's
how are you?
open
I
it.
saw you're back on Twitter.
I am back on the old Twitter. I'm good. I'm hanging in
Alright.
there. It's been a weird year, to be honest, but I'm hanging in there. Going to the beach was good. I burnt my butt though.
Whoa. Again, this is a story that's probably more apropos for next week, but you can certainly tell it.
What is going on next week?
Matt, this is episode 68.
Oh.
Nice.
That's why
Somebody
next-
hasn't been listening,
Oh,
obviously,
God.
because I've been talking about it for like 5 weeks.
Yeah, we've been really building up Sexy 69.
Oh,
I'm
there's
half convinced
nothing
that's
to
why
the
Kate came back to
story.
Twitter.
I was reading on the beach, laying on my stomach, and burnt my butt. Not like my butt proper, but like under my butt, so it hurts to sit down.
All right.
That's
Well,
it.
interesting. That's That also, you said you were laying on your stomach.
Yeah, it was like reading.
Yep. Did you ever hear? Did you ever hear this pickup line? Hey, do you sleep on your stomach?
I haven't heard this pickup line.
Do you sleep on your stomach?
No.
Can I?
That's a
a
good
bad
one.
one.
It wouldn't work, but it's a good pickup line.
It worked once for Ant.
Ayo!
Now he's a 5-year-old maniac.
That's right.
Maniac,
Matt, you'll see him. Don't you worry. You'll
When?
at your little shindig.
Are you gonna bring him to the barbecue?
Why wouldn't I?
I don't know.
You said kids are allowed, so I'll bring him
Yeah.
and have him destroy your house. I'll send him up to your toy room.
No, he's not allowed inside.
It's all right. We'll send him up.
No, the cats will attack him. I will teach the cats.
He loves cats,
They
so
don't like him.
he loves
I'm
cats.
picturing Matt with a picture of Little Money being like, attack on site, attack on site.
Why
attack on site."
would you? You have your own toys that he can destroy. Why would you do that to me?
I didn't say he would destroy him. He would just certainly touch
You
them.
just said I'll send him up to your toy room to destroy it.
Yeah, he'll make a mess. He won't destroy stuff, but he'll just make a mess.
A mess of what? Everything's in cases.
Yeah, that's fine. He'll just, the cases will be strewn
Not
about.
Not everything. No, don't touch the cases. I have like a whole pile of shit I have to open still.
You have a whole pile of shit you have to open still?
I mean, like I opened it, but I haven't done anything with it. AEW Unmatched 10 or 9, 4, Unmatched 4,
Yep.
Unrivaled
Yes.
9. They're still in the cases. I got the Heels and Faces figures I ordered like a year and a half ago the other day.
Heels and faces.
Yeah, it's the Zombie Sailor. It's
Oh.
Dino Bravo,
Zombie,
Sabu,
zombie.
Earl Hebner, Brian Myers, Matt Cardona.
Well, that's fun.
The major figure guys.
I guess they're staying in my deck.
They're staining your deck?
Yeah.
The major figure guys are staining your deck?
Brian Myers is staining
confused.
your deck?
No,
Yeah.
the LWO staying in my deck. They're doing a great job. It looks awesome.
I get it. I'm with you. Nobody else is going to laugh, but you got
No,
me.
I got it. I
It'll be
got it.
sick for the barbecue, man.
Sweet.
I'm excited.
Kate, will you be there?
Maybe
I will be there.
I never count on it.
Okay.
Ryan, are you going to be there?
What was the date again?
Oh, boy, that's a no. Sorry,
Oh,
Matt.
no,
I'll
there-
be there.
August
No, there's-
14th.
Okay, then I probably can be there. The reason I asked is my sister's and dad's birthday is the 18th and 19th, and I thought it was the 18th, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to make it that. We're gonna have a family dinner.
No, it's on
And
a
the 14th
Sunday.
is not those dates. So
No, it's a Sunday
We're
fun day.
your real family now. I thought you understood that when you agreed to be on this show.
Wow.
sounds like a cult.
Yeah,
Sounds like we're in the core.
it's literally called the Mark Order, guys. It's modeled
It's not a
after
Core
It's just a
was
club.
superior to the Mark Order.
The core?
The Core's
Yeah, look
superior
at
to
how-
everything.
Look at how young Heath Slater looks.
He's got kids.
that-
I know that much.
And that dude who was in RoH.
Justin Gabriel, PJ Black.
Yeah. Yes. Doesn't he think the Earth is flat?
I don't know.
Oh, that's Flip.
No,
Okay.
I think he's in there too. He's one of those guys.
Oh, is he? Well,
Got Big Zeke there. I see Wade Barrett's top of his head.
I think that's the entire group.
Yeah, we're not missing somebody. There was 4,
AJ
right?
Styles.
No, it
Just
was
a
the
flat
core.
earther stable, I think would be better.
It was the core 4, right?
Andy Pettit.
Yep, they're the core 4.
Did the Yankees lose to the Reds again tonight?
they're tied.
Hope not. Oh my
Did Stan-
god.
Did Stan get a hit and an RBI?
Yes, he did.
Did he really?
Yeah, he hit a home run.
I gotta check on my bet.
I knew that's where that was going.
He hit the parlay, folks.
I gotta see. I put in a silly parlay, 13-leg parlay. Got a free $5
A
bet.
what? How many white parlay?
13.
Jesus Christ. Did
What,
you just
what?
not want to win money?
What's up?
Did you just not want to win money?
No, man, you want to win? I want to win big. I already hit once this summer. Looking for
On
round 2. I
13?
think it was 11.
It was a good parlay. That was an unbelievable one you hit.
Yeah, I turned 10 into like $3,000.
Yep. That's why he's Millionaire Matt, folks.
Kate does not like gambling talk either, apparently.
Well, because I know it's going to be followed up by figure talk.
There's no
Well,
figure talk. I got a
It's
crate.
crate talk.
Open your crate then.
I was on the way to doing that, and then we started talking about other stuff.
Yeah, sorry.
So
My
there's-
bad. That's what I
You
do.
have nothing to be sorry about. I also
Kate
wanted to
likes
ask Kate 'cause
baseball.
Yeah,
What?
baseball fucking rules. What's your point?
It was a terrible hockey news day for me, so it's a good
what
baseball.
happened?
Who is Johnny
Same here.
Hockey?
Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah. Well,
Why
Schlong,
is it Johnny Hockey?
well, he left Calgary. He's one of the big free agents on the market. He left Calgary to test the free agent market.
Where did he go?
He said he wanted $10 million a year at minimum.
Oh boy.
And so the Flyers were trying to make it happen, but the Flyers can't fucking find a dollar in their payroll to make that happen. So
It's because
that
Ryan is taking them all.
that's it. Even with all the
Jesus.
even with all the cash that Ryan's given them for season tickets, they can't make it work. And then apparently the Devils were in on him, and so were the Islanders. But he went to Columbus, and the word on the street is that deal was worth almost like 9.5 to 9.75 a year. And from what I'm reading from the Devils camp is that they offered him more than 10 a year, and he still turned it down.
Dang, that's rough stuff, buddy.
What a fucking asshole. Anyway, let's open up a crate.
Do it, man. Do it before my
see.
dinner.
Before your dinner.
What's for
Gotta eat.
dinner?
It's a rice and beans with a fried egg on top from HelloFresh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, folks, this is the All Out 2022 crate. So we got a couple shirts.
What? While we're talking about All Out 2022.
Jesus. Yep. Go ahead.
What is it about Illinois that Tony Khan refuses to leave? There were murmurs that All Out was going to be in Newark, and I got so excited. Now we're going back to Hoffman Estates. I'm assuming Punk is coming back there, or will be champion there again.
Well, that's where they first, All Out started or All In, and All Out sort of started in Chicago. So I guess they're just sticking with it, right? So the same way.
Yeah, but they
Looks
did
like they're
900
sticking-
other pay-per-views there. Spread the wealth, man. Anyway, you could open your crate. Just
You
made me
can take a
salty.
trip to Chicago. I did it.
I'm balling out of budget, brother. But it's not
trust
even in
me.
Chicago. It's in faux Chicago. It's in 40 minutes outside of Chicago, Illinois.
I stayed there. So
Yeah.
I know.
That's rough.
All right, let's see. We got a couple shirts here.
Oh yeah, 2.
I'm going to show this one second.
Second.
So let's see the first one here.
I hope it's a Feeder shirt.
It's a what?
Hope it's a Feeder shirt.
Nope.
Oh. The doctor is in for a DMD shirt.
What is that?
I don't know. I didn't even look at it.
I think
I'm
it's
just
like
showing
the
you
medical symbol.
It's
thing.
the dentist. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like the doctor staff, the staff with the 2 snakes around it. I don't know what it's called. Somebody in the chat will put it there.
Oh, Dr. Snake.
Yep, Dr. Snake.
All right.
Of course.
And I already have a Sheeta shirt. Thank you, Matt. Care of Asian Joe.
What a guy. That Asian Joe's a good guy.
He's coming
he
to
knows how
visit
to pick 'em.
in
He
the
is.
fall. I'm very excited.
I just saw that via the chat.
Good.
Uh,
Asian Joe, if you're going to be here on Sunday, you're more than welcome to come sit around the fire pit.
Woo!
Do it.
We would love to bring more Asian people into our circle.
Kyle K. Spark says that's the Caduceus Caduceus.
Of course, Kyle knew it. Of all the people, as a Kyle will know this one.
At this point, we might as well just say, Kyle, be the producer on this show because you're just looking stuff up and putting it in the chat.
It's true.
Here's the second shirt. Kate's going to like this one.
Punker!
It's a good shirt.
That is a good shirt.
Got the dog collar on him.
Oh,
That's
nice.
why I let you.
It's a really good
Oh, yeah.
one. The Micro Brawler is nice this month. It's Evil Uno.
Nice.
That is a good one. Let's
Even
see.
though they copied our name.
It's true, but we let them have it. DVD Best of Dark Volume 2. Schlong has seen all these matches.
It's true.
Literally, that's not even an exaggeration.
No. A Proud and Powerful sticker. That might be a collector's item here.
Yeah, just cut that in half now. Just get it over with.
That's sad.
Okay. This is going on the keychain. This is Jade Cargill
Ooh.
keychain.
Ooh.
Go put your penis on it.
I'm not putting a penis on it, Matthew.
It goes through the hole, Matt.
Seriously. Okay,
Don't
this
be
is
crude. It goes through the hole.
yeah.
Don't be crude.
This is cool. These look like they're acclaimed earbuds.
Yo,
Listen,
Listen.
You can
I
listen.
can now.
there it is.
Oh, this is cool. Okay, it's a pin, but before I pulled it out of the box, I saw something, so I have to open the plastic here and show you because I believe it does something.
It
Okay,
does something to you.
It pins
look.
onto things.
Here it is. Boom.
Oh,
yeah.
that's rad. For those of you listening in podcast form, it's a Malachi
It's
Black pin,
magnetic.
but the mask.
By the way,
Yeah, Malachi Black pin, magnetic.
you had a connection thing there real quick that made it so amazing because 1 second it was off and then there's like a little chop and the next thing it was back on.
A
It was
magic,
like a magic trick
I
to
tell
me.
you.
Yeah.
Magic.
Daddy magic.
Looks like a All Out poster from last year. You know, they do the last year's poster.
From the first year.
Yep.
Not last year, the first year.
Oh, first year. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry.
Said who will become the first world champion on it?
I didn't really look at it. I just saw All Out.
You fucking guy.
Well, I'm just doing it all here, man.
I know, but you gotta need an all natural reaction.
Okay.
Did it all for the nookie.
Oh, do it. Do you do it like Johnny Carson?
Who is
God. So many
Brian
people are
Pillman
not
Jr.
going to get that reference.
No, not Brian Pillman Jr. Can I
I
get
don't know. I'm just looking at it first. All right, here's the autograph.
Can I get a?
Ooh, this is a good one. I think this is a good one.
Hold on, let Matt guess. Guess
it ours?
I've
Matt.
seen it.
I forgot who it is. This is orange. The box is still sitting on my desk with everything in it. I opened it 2 days ago, and it's still there.
Oh, I
Is
just
it
got mine
Marco
yesterday.
Stunt?
I have
It's
two
not.
Not. He does not no longer work for AEW.
Yeah, so they have a supply of those they have to get rid of.
Nobody
That's what I
wants
was
it.
thinking.
For the money I paid, if I got one of those, I'd fucking ship it back to Chicago and jam it up somebody's ass.
Matt
we
would
still
ship
guessing,
it.
Matt?
He'd wait for it to get to Chicago, drive there, get it out of the shipping, and then shove it up somebody's head.
Yeah, make a whole trip out of it. Do it. Show it to
Oh,
me.
you want it? I thought you were still guessing. It's a
Show it
good
to me.
one.
Wardlow, the TNT champion.
Ooh,
The War
the
Dog. I didn't have to pay like $30 to meet him in New Jersey. I wasn't here anyway, so this works out.
Yeah, but you didn't get.
Gina's going to take that one.
I
What'd
mean,
you
it's
say,
not
Matt?
Tony Nese one.
You can get a picture with him. You can get to touch his muscles.
I don't need to touch his muscles,
All right.
but that's
Well,
a good
that's
one.
part of the
I
meet
would've-
and greet.
I'll tell you this: I would have been pissed though if I went to the meet and greet, paid to get the autograph and all that stuff, and then it came in the crate and I paid for it. I'd have been like, "Fuck!
Then you have two.
Who needs two? One's good enough."
I don't know. You can sell one on the eBay.
Sell
I don't know.
one on the.
They say
eBay.
one is the loneliest number that you ever saw.
That's true. That's why I buy everything in twos.
That's right. That's why you do it.
All right.
Pretty good crate.
Oh.
All out 2022.
And that was Matt's lullaby as he fell asleep in the chair.
My chair is comfy. It makes me
I'm
fall asleep.
glad.
But I have to eat dinner with my wife.
Yes, as you should.
He can't sleep just yet. He's got to eat some rice and beans
With an egg, a fried egg on top. And some,
with a fried egg. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
can't forget about that.
no, don't forget the fried egg.
That's the protein.
Hell yeah.
What else? I don't know.
I don't know. You're here. You're the one. You're the guest.
Behind on AEW. I didn't see anything tonight.
Okay. My favorite thing, by the way, Matt, was the week you were on, and you were like, "Well, at some point, Miro's coming back," and we were all just like, "Yes, at some point he will be back."
Oh yeah, 'cause I didn't watch that.
Because he came back that night.
I'm behind the eight ball, man.
It's okay. You'll
What else
catch
is
up.
going on? Oh,
You got a
we
lot
gotta
of.
figure out who's buying tickets to Grand Slam. What's it called?
Yeah,
Grand
Grand
Slam.
Slam at
That's
Arthur
it.
Ashe.
You're pointing at me.
I didn't point at anybody, but
I
Kate
was
is.
Pointing at me.
I'm voting not Danny. Which is why I voted you.
Well, listen,
Because historically it's been you or Danny.
I have two ticket guys. It's Matt and it's Danny.
Oh, two ticket. I'm a ticket guy now.
You are.
I'll just
Moving
listen.
up in the world.
Of everybody I know who buys tickets, I've never had as good of luck as you or Danny and pretty much anybody else. If I ever attempt to get tickets, it's like, here's the best seat available, 400 section in the last row. I don't know how you guys get lucky with the tickets, because every time you guys are like, we're lower tier, mid tier, and we're only paying like $60. I have no idea how you guys do it.
Yeah, Danny's pretty hot to try on that, admittedly. Like, he's like, this is the spot I'm going for, and he gets it every time.
He's in one of those, some show he follows does like they do like a Patreon and they get like the passwords early. So usually he passes those along to me if he can't.
Yes, because, and for Arthur Ashe, we should just be able to get it anyway, I think. But I think Matt will be in the baddie section is the only thing. So.
Wow, Mrs. Money. I'm slightly insulted about that ticket comment, Mr. Money. Yikes.
Can't win. I'm talking about specifically for wrestling shows.
It's true.
Specifically.
It ain't my battle, bro. I don't know what you're doing.
Just saying.
You better be careful, bro. Your wife's losing mad weight.
She is. I'm losing her to Tony Nese anyway.
You really are. You're going to lose her to Tony Nese, bro. You better.
God, if she ever gets in touch with Claudio, it's over.
You better say something nice about her, dude.
I do every day.
Not on the
Wait, who wins, Claudio or Tony?
Yeah, that's important. Gina, I would like to know who wins, Claudio or Tony.
No. You've got to find out. Don't put it in the chat, Mrs. Money. If you want to hear who's going to win it out. What? He's laughing. I couldn't even hear him.
I don't know, but Matt cracking himself up is one of my favorite things that happens on this podcast.
Gina's the lucky Pierre.
Oh, no.
And that's
I got that. I got that.
And Tony.
Oh, my God. If you want to hear who would win out, then you should tune in when they do the Battle of the Belts 3 or 4, whatever they're up to now.
Why will FMK happen in August?
That's when they're doing Battle of the Belts. We're going to do the bonus show like we always do. So she'll do an FMK.
And Christian.
Yep, that's right.
Wow, Christian too.
Yeah.
Heel Christian with his Banana Republic outfits.
She doesn't love it. I'm telling you that. She doesn't love it. She wants to see.
It's because it's autumnal.
The comment tonight was, I need to see something like a button down. Show me some chest hair. Give me something to work with.
Sweetheart, I get it.
It's not that she doesn't love it. She just wants more of him.
I get it. That's how I felt about gasoline wielding Eddie Kingston. You know what I mean? More gasoline.
That says so much about you, Kate, that I just...
I said it once, and now I feel like I have to keep it going.
Cassidy t-shirt?
It is. Just for you, pal.
She didn't even know you were going to be here. The only thing that would have been better was a Marco Stunt shirt.
I put it in the text message that I was going to be here.
I have a Marco Stunt t-shirt, actually, that Matt gave to me. In one of my boxes.
Yeah, I knew you knew she was going to be here. Can we just... Oh, wizardry.
What was that?
What? I said, ooh, wizardry.
Oh. All right, I'm going to go eat the dinner with the lady.
Matt, why don't you plug your wares while you're here?
Oh, I don't know. It's not. I'm never here. I don't want to take away the shine from you guys.
See, he clearly doesn't listen because we plug his shit even when he's not here.
I never said I listened. Do you not listen to Monday nights? I say I never listen to anything on the network.
I do listen to Monday nights. Thank you. I care about the little guys.
I care. I rate, I review, I subscribe. I tell people. I plug the Mark Order on the Bread Club.
True. You do?
Well, that's good.
The Bread Club catch you Monday nights. Episode that went up today.
Yeah, if you're looking to check out some New Japan Pro Wrestling talk on Fightful Overbook's YouTube and wherever they produce their podcast, which is everywhere where you can get this fantastic show, the Mark Order podcast. You can also find Fightful Overbook, the Bread Club, New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 32 preview. Me and my man Kieran from the UK talking all things G1, getting ready for the big tournament starting in 3 days.
3 days.
And we were supposed to have Kevin Kelly on the show last week, but as you heard earlier, he had to take his puppy to the vet. But we're going to reschedule. So Look out, people. And then every Monday night, I do the Shining Wizard Wrestling podcast. Bill Alfonso this week.
Oh boy, he's got all his teeth.
Right down the middle, Daddy.
But who do you have next week, Matt? Who do you
After
have?
that, he is the son of a booker, a promoter. He was in the most futuristic tag team in the history of wrestling. One half of Techno Team 2000, Eric Watts, will be joining the Shining Wizards.
You got Ryan. Ryan's hooked.
I just, of all the guests I thought you'd ever have, Eric Watts is really not one of them.
On Facebook.
I didn't think he did anything.
Oh, he was thrilled to do it.
If it can't be Frankie the Macaw because Frankie's dead, the next best thing, as far as a Kate, like a cult status guest, is Eric Watts.
I'm super excited to talk to Eric Watts and Bill Alfonso. I passed Bill Alfonso off to Tony.
Wait, who was the other? I remember Eric Watts. Who was the other guy in Techno Team?
Chad Fortune.
You remember Eric Watts and not the other one?
Yeah, I don't remember. Chad
Eric
Fortune.
Watts was Eric Watts before he was in Techno Team 2000, and he did get a kind of a push in WCW.
And Chad Fortune was.
Chad Fortune was Chad Fortune.
That was Chad Fortunate for him.
Well,
He really did much.
Well, Matt, it's been a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure. I'm sorry.
Give your wifey our best, would you?
Hey, babe. Wife.
I didn't mean like it didn't have to be in real time that you did that. Just like went over dinner, like, oh,
Rhiannon.
order.
Ray.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just
she's
waiting to
gotten
hear
eaten by a
the
cat.
clicking sound of a
Squad
shotgun
gives
loading.
their best
Yep.
to you. Kate and company give their best to you. She's hi.
Hi, baby girl.
Maybe I'll see her soon, Matt. She's going to be in my neck of the woods, so I'll
She's
have to
washing
go.
the dishes. She says
to go
she's
say
sorry.
hello. It's all right.
She doesn't have to apologize. Go eat dinner with your wife.
I'm gonna go eat dinner with my wife. Yes, Eric Freeds. I believe he was in Impact for like 5 minutes too. We can talk about that.
I want an Eric Watts deep dive so hard. Week after next.
There's so much to talk to Eric. I'm very
Legitimately, there's a lot to talk about with him.
and I'm super excited about the Bill Alfonso thing because he responded to a Facebook comment of mine 3 years ago, like a week ago. He was like, "Yeah, I'd love to do the podcast," and I was like, "All right." And then I reached out to him, and for some strange reason, he had my phone number. He was like, "Hey, I have your phone number. Can I call you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm at work." So I was like, "Hey, Tony, can you handle this?"
Look at
You
that.
You
It
should
got
treat
handled.
it like it was 3 years ago. Be like, what do you think of this new AEW promotion?
He was like,
Oh, the pandemic, man.
He was like, "For real?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude. If he wants money, just tell him no. Otherwise, like, book him." And then he was on the phone with him for like 20 minutes. He said,
Why aren't you having Chad Fortune on?
"I don't know where to find. I think Chad Fortune is."
Don't
Say
say
it.
it. He didn't go the way of Frankie the Macaw, did he?
Say it.
No, he's still alive.
Okay.
He's just, I don't know. He did football, pro wrestling, and
He was a
Monster
monster
Jam.
truck
He
driver.
did Monster Jam for like 20 years.
Listen,
Him and
producer
Medusa.
Kyle K. Sparks says that Chad Fortune spent about 6 months as a jobber on WCW Saturday Night before he retired in 99 or 2000.
Yeah, you're gonna need to have him on.
Wearing silver schmucks and tight Zubaz. Fucking Techno Team 2000.
Hell
Drove
yeah,
monster
bro.
trucks, huh? It checks out.
I think all of your questions should be about Y2K.
I will show nothing but respect to Mr. Watts.
Yeah.
Right? You use your platform to harass your guests. Don't harass my guests.
I don't have guests.
You should start getting them. They're a lot of fun.
I should.
Right? Now, Mick Foley's stealing my fucking gimmick on his podcast, talking about shit in his pants in the ring.
I know.
Gimmick infringement.
That's my question, Mick.
Next thing you
Start
know,
shitting
he's
your
going to be
pants?
asking about eating raw horse meat. Stealing your shit.
Unbelievable.
All right, go
All
eat
right,
with your
Mac.
wife.
All right, I'm going to go have
Go.
dinner. You guys are fantastic. I miss you all. I love you
Good
all.
to see you.
Have a great show. Maybe I'll listen to it tomorrow.
You don't have to. You don't. It's
I will.
not
Maybe I'll
It's
listen
so
back
cute.
while I'm chopping some wood
It's so
tomorrow.
sweet.
Chopping
Oh,
wood?
Lumberjack Matt is back.
Yeah.
How are you going to work this into your Jackal Lumberjack mix?
I don't know. Maybe we'll play the Lumberjack, then the Mark Order podcast, then the Lumberjack again.
And then just nonstop Lumberjack.
Yeah, Lucky Pierre. You Mark Order podcast is Lucky Pierre and the Lumberjack sandwich. Do you not know what the you not know what?
Oh,
the
I'm
Lucky
very
Pierre
aware of
is?
what you're saying.
Look it up.
All right, I'll see you
Bye,
guys later.
Matt.
Have fun.
Hey, man.
I gotta watch AEW at some point too.
By the way, Matt, Kyle K. Sparks says if Foley starts talking about sleepjacking, you've got an issue.
You know what? Kyle K. Sparks isn't wrong.
He's
It's true.
definitely right.
Tonight's main event ruled. You're gonna love it.
I will love it. How do I leave? I accidentally ended the broadcast.
Don't. I'll just boot you out. We'll see you later.
No, I
Matt.
see myself. There you go.
Oh, Maddie.
All right. Thank God.
What
he's
I
gone.
love is there's a giant, there's a bar across the bottom, and the only thing on color on it is the X that says "Leave Studio."
right. Well, Kate, I have a question.
What's that?
It looks like you're back in familiar digs. What's going on?
I am. I have a livable apartment again, which is exciting. They still have to do like one more treatment to the roof, but other than that, pretty much everything seems to be resolved. So that is very good. Now I just have to piece all of the shit that I had outside of my attic and put it up there, which is a slow process when it's 93 degrees out, because in my attic it's 482 degrees. So, but it's good. Like everything is repaired, thankfully, which makes me very happy. But I just have to, now my apartment just looks like a bomb hit it. So
Sure.
it's been a process. And that's why today I was like, I'm going to the beach. Fuck this noise. Get me out of here.
Nice.
But yeah. And then I burned my butt. So here we are.
Yeah, that's what you get for going to the beach. A burnt butt.
I know.
That's why Ryan doesn't leave the house. He doesn't want to burn his ass.
It's true.
I left the
His
house
ass is
last week.
already chapped. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Kate. Pause.
Breaking news, as we've heard that Ryan has left the house this week.
What? What did
I
you do, Ryan?
I went to a friend's house.
So you went from your house just to another house?
Well, yeah. I mean, what am I going to do? Is my friend? I wanted to see Greg.
No, you went to see that guy.
I went to see that guy.
That guy.
And this Friday, I'm going to be out of the house.
No, where are you going this Friday?
Dave Matthews concert.
Oh, boo.
Really?
That's
Are you
that.
gonna
I
get
used
high?
to go. Oh, you know me. I used to go all the time with a buddy. We didn't go for a very, very long time because he just wasn't around. Now he's around. We're gonna do one last show.
One last show.
Yeah, I don't think we'll do it regularly. It gets to be a bit much.
Off into the sunset. Well, I hope you have your collared shirt with your
Boat
collar
shoes.
popped. Your
Oh
Birkenstock.
God, I can't believe I'm gonna admit this out loud, but I dated like one of those Dave Matthews guys when I was in college. I'm not proud of it.
I'm not,
Boat shoes, like the cargo khaki shorts, and usually like a button down situation, as tall and gangly and white as you would think. And I like later found out that that was like his ex-fiance's thing, and I was like, that's on brand. Like you've made Dave Matthews super emo. So it didn't last very long, but it was fun. They're really good in concert. But I dated like the
Amazing in
stereotype
concert.
without like being like he wasn't high out of his mind the whole time.
There's three types of people that go to Dave Matthews. Four. High school kids back in the day. I don't know about now, but back in the day it was high school kids drinking for the first time. Then it was frat guys.
Still a lot of frat guys.
Then it was hippies.
Yep.
Yes.
And then there were people like me who were just like, yeah, you grew up listening to it and you're just you're still listening. There is that fourth group there.
Well, he is like
normies.
unbelievable live. Like, and he brings out incredible guests. So
It's what's the best live. So I'm okay with it.
I can't believe you're doing a thing. Good for Ryan.
Where are you going to the amphitheater, the Camden?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called anymore, but yeah.
It used to be
That's
the Tweeter Center.
It was Tweeter, then it was BB&T, Susquehanna Bank at some point.
BBC, jeez.
BB&T.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bank because it was Susquehanna, then BB&T.
Sure, yeah.
The
big black
BBC.
It's the most inconvenient venue in the world. I do love me a BBW, baby.
Who doesn't? Yo,
how much do you think a water is there in Camden?
Water, probably like $7.50.
Oh man, do you think we could just bring some from home? Because that's kind of expensive.
I did not miss Kate being off this product.
You can't bring water from home, but it's got to be the right size,
and it's got to be cold.
What does it have to be?
I can't say cold in that accent. Cold.
I don't know if the accent really, if cold is different in there. But
we gotta make Ryan say cold at some point in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, Swerve is so cool. He's ice cold. You know what I mean?
Cold.
Nah.
Not every word we say is weird.
No, just a lot of them.
I'm just gonna introduce you guys to Nick Camarado and let him take care of it.
Camarado.
Yeah, Camarado.
He speaks like I do, but you won't say this to him because he's huge.
100% I would. I'd be like, yeah, you got to get some water. Maybe get a hoagie.
I just see him toss you one-handed away.
It's fine. Be like, can't take a joke, bruh.
Look, Rob Humphrey. All right. Greg hangs out with me too sometimes when I go visit him.
There you go. I haven't seen Greg since he was in college.
There you go.
You want to know what we did if you want to feel really in college?
Smoke weed?
No. Greg wasn't a smoker. He smoked a few times, but he wasn't a smoker.
I'm just
saying. We watched Jackass 4.5 on Netflix.
Nice.
You also watched Rampage, though, which made me very excited.
Yes, I got him watching wrestling.
We're going to corrupt him. I'm excited.
Yeah, Rampage Friday night was actually pretty good to watch. Eddie Kingston defeated Konsuke. Now, here's I don't understand how they get Takeshita from his name. Is it Takeshita? It's literally take a Shida.
You leave a Shida, you take a Shida. You know what I mean?
That's right. It's spelled
but it is
take
Takeshita.
shit A.
Yeah.
It's take shitta. We want to take a shitta.
Maybe they were like, we don't like that, so we're going to go with Takeshita.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
We don't want
or that's just really the way you say his name, and we're just all assholes.
Oh, we're all assholes. Let's go with that one.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's fair.
So that was fun. We also had the Gates of Agony defeat Gresham and Moriarty, and there was a big turn in that match. I had no idea that was coming, where Gresham turned his back on Moriarty and then partnered with Tully Blanchard. Holy moly. Now, let me just kind of get your guys' thoughts on this, because he still talks about being the foundation. What the fuck? This was crazy. I didn't see this coming. I didn't see a heel Gresham coming.
Okay, I like heel Gresham. I don't know how I feel about him going into like Tully's Enterprises, because now I feel like they built a whole stable for Cage, and now I feel like Cage is the odd man out of his own stable that he was supposed to be a part of. But I don't know, unless he's a double agent of some sort. I don't know. I'm gonna let it play out, as they say, because they've earned my trust on stuff like this. But my initial gut feeling is like, Gresham and Tully Enterprises feels like a weird combo.
Yeah, it's just like...
I like heel Gresham, though, so that's fun.
I do, too. And the Yankees just won, Kate.
Aaron Judge walk-off?
No, Judge struck out. So Judge needs the All-Star break stat.
Yeah. He's tired.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Tully Enterprises, because at one point it was like, oh, it's just going to be all these monsters, and now it doesn't seem like it's going to be all these monsters. It seems like it's just going to be a fucking mishmash of whatever.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Almost as weird as Ryan doing an Eminem impression with his hat.
Yeah, I don't understand this. Ryan is in a weird mood tonight. He went out. And he's going out Friday.
He's going out tonight. He's feeling all right. Gonna
let it all hang out.
That was, of all the musical references we made on the show, that was the most called for one we've ever brought up. Because man, Ryan feels like a woman.
If you don't, I'm sure our loyal viewers will notice I play with my hat all the time. It's like a nervous tick. I just do it. I love heel Gresham. I actually think he's way better as a heel than a face because his whole the best wrestler in the world. It doesn't play as well as a face because it's almost too arrogant. So it plays much better as a heel. I'm with you guys. It seems weird. I wonder if they're gonna have Cage go after the TV title. Like I wonder if Samoa Joe is gonna win and they have Cage go that route, and that way you keep them separate instead of having. I don't know. I think maybe they're hoping for a monster stable as to gain interest in the rebrand of ROH.
Well, it just doesn't make me feel good about, having the foundation. You know what I mean? Because now he's part of this other
they're
faction.
done. I mean, I think we just got to accept that they're done.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's the truth. But it's just weird because it's sort of like he just doesn't fit in with this group. I mean, I'll definitely see it play out, but everybody else is just like a brawler monster, and he's just a technical, the technical master. So I don't know.
It's weird to have like Brian Cage and Mr. like Pure Division in the same, under the same umbrella, but
it also kind of fits. Like Gresham is the champ and he's the pure wrestler, and he just surrounded himself with monsters.
Yeah, for me, I just sort of like don't know how I feel about Gresham being part of a faction that he's not really controlling. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how, but I just, it was something that completely took me off guard. And I don't remember if this was pre-taped. I did not see any spoilers. So, it just completely took me by surprise, which is fun, but it's just like, okay, what are they going to do with this? So we'll see.
And every now and again, you need to have a little fun. Oh, crazy. Sorry.
You close the loop. I respect it.
So let's see. This is where we also on Rampage had Eddie Kingston talking about the barbed wire everywhere match that we set up for Fyter Fest next week.
My Ruby.
You hurt my Ruby. So we'll talk about that a little bit as we get through the night. We had Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb defeat Christina Marie and Kayla Sparks, but dissension among the team. Deeb wants that title, so they set up that match for Death Before Dishonor, which is sort of a shame because I like that tag team, but I get it.
You don't have tag team belts. You don't have a division, so I guess you can't leave them together.
Yeah, they just worked well.
I was really enjoying them as a tag team as well, but I think Serena Deeb being an ROH women's champion makes a whole world of sense for so many reasons. Like, if ROH is going to be used to develop younger talent, like, why wouldn't you want Serena Deeb holding the belt for that? She's going to make so many people look good and just be so invaluable backstage. I think that why not?
Yeah. Let's see. We also had the main event, which was Orange Cassidy and Tony Nese. I'm sorry. It's time for the main event. And we had OC defeating Tony Nese. So it was a tough night in my house. But it was a fun match, man. I mean, just again, for all the people who kind of say like Orange Cassidy sucks, I don't know what you're watching. I mean, I get it that you can sort of hate the gimmick, but he's not just a gimmick. The guy can fucking wrestle, man. I mean, goddamn, what a match.
And since coming back from injury, I feel like these matches have been better produced. Like, they're not as mind games, turn up the heat, match ends. Like, it's a little bit more woven than we've seen in the past, which I think has been really, really good. But that match ruled. I'm sorry about the outcome to your wonderful wife, but you know what? We still got to see all 480 of his abs on screen. So sometimes the victory is in the abs and not in the win, you know, as the old saying goes.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, I hope you guys know I'm instructed not to speak a lot when Tony Nese is on television.
Understandable.
It's the old Jade Cargill rule.
Yeah, even though we don't really play the Jade Cargill rule anymore. Yeah, it's now the Tony Nese rule. We don't speak. Shut the fuck up. Tony Nese is on television.
As it should.
So I'm gonna do wild speculation real quick.
Sure.
I have absolutely nothing to back this up.
Okay.
But it fits canon in my brain.
Oh boy.
So Kate just pointed out a very good fact that Orange Cassidy, since coming back from injury, has put together his matches have been better laid out. It's mixed in his comedy character and his real wrestling skills a lot better. I also noticed someone's in the company now that wasn't in the company before. A guy who's very good at laying out matches, who had comedy as part of his gimmick at times, but was also a very talented wrestler. A Mr. William Regal.
You think Orange Cassidy's joining the Blackpool Combat Club?
As awesome as that would be, and I wish, I'm just saying I could eat. That's the thing of bringing in guys like Regal, Bryan Danielson, Claudio, things like that. Those guys get in, they're like, hey, if you just do, especially Regal though, if you just do this a little differently, you're still doing all the same stuff. But if you just mess with the order, it looks completely different.
That makes sense.
I could be wrong, but it just seems the timing seems to fit really well.
I think we just decided it's true. So
that's what I'm talking about. My head canon.
There you go.
It's his head canon.
There you go. It's in.
Don't make fun of the accent on a one that's.
I didn't make fun of an accent. I just said it's his head canon.
The way you said it is the same way you make fun of my accent, so I wasn't sure.
No. You'll know when I'm making fun of your accent. Oh man.
Oh, you'll know.
You will know. For show. Fun episode of Rampage, and then we're not going to go into Dark, but we should at least talk about two matches that happened on Dark. Very interesting. They had two matches that were from outside of outside of the company. They had Thunder Rosa in a women's title eliminator match versus Miyu Yamashita. And that wound up being actually a loss for Thunder Rosa. So she was in Japan. That match happened in Japan. They aired it on Dark. Or was it Dark? Yeah, they aired it on Dark. Sorry.
That was Dark, not Elevation. Yeah.
It was Dark. And Thunder Rosa lost. So now Yamashita is going to be able to get her title shot. So she'll come over to the United States and we'll have a women's title match with Thunder Rosa and Yamashita. So that's a little fun. Also, they had the match that Pac had for the All Atlantic Championship, Pac versus Shota Umino, that took place at Rev Pro in England. Pac wound up retaining his title, but I thought it was pretty cool that they had two matches from outside the company that they just were able to air on Dark. So if that is something they continue to do, I think that's a pretty cool way of sort of, putting your talent and your brand in places overseas. I think especially in the UK where they haven't really been there yet, maybe sort of testing the waters. But that match was a ton of fun, and the crowd was obviously way into Pac. So I thought it was pretty cool that they incorporated that into Dark.
I mean, what we really should talk about is the fact that Taz and Excalibur managed to go from Japan to England in under an hour. I mean, that's just the speed that they're playing is unbelievable. No, that's awesome. And that's what, I don't think you'll get to do it as much with Thunder Rosa. I don't see her going out as much, but Pac with his belt, like, I think that's kind of almost the purpose of it. They should do this as much as possible. Because he's not always over here because he wants to live at home and it's hard. Well, then fuck you and let him travel in the UK or wherever defend it, and you can air it on Dark and Elevation, and then when he comes over here, it's not like he's been completely off AEW programming.
No, I think Ant made a good point about like testing the waters with this. I think it's a really good call. Sincerely, I had like heard people with the take of this is how Pac would defend, or whoever held this title, this is how it would be used, right? It wouldn't necessarily be on TV all the time, but it would be something that is kind of a vehicle for spreading the AEW brand, but like in a very authentic, organic way. And I mean, who's a better advocate for that than Pac? Like, he is so versatile and can work with any style. And then on top of that, lives in the UK, can easily go to Japan and hang with those guys, can work in the US, of course, too. Like, just a perfect decision. And somebody who deserves it. Like, he's such a great wrestler. So I think that's super fun. I think highlighting it on Dark is a great idea because I think it helps feed the system, right? Like, marquee matches like that are going to get people to tune into Dark, and putting them on Dark is going to give more exposure to the belts, which is awesome. And since Thunder Rosa is kind of in this like thunderstorm tag team situation, like doing stuff like this is great. The loss doesn't really hurt her, and it does set up a fun title defense. So why not? Like, let's do more stuff like this. That's the beauty of the Forbidden Door being open.
Also, I think the cool thing with Thunder Rosa is they've obviously now, she's gone to, Japan and fought in one of the women's promotions, right? So you can continue to do that with her and sort of like, send talent over to, again, sort of expose, AEW to the Japanese audience, especially in the women's promotions, right? And we've seen so much of their talent on TV. They maybe, besides the tournament, didn't really see much on their TV. So I thought that was pretty cool that they incorporated it. And I'm with you, Kate. It just feeds their system, right? It gets people talking, and this is how you can see the match. Well, I do have to say this. I like this from Kyle K. Sparks. You can steal Matt's thunder all you want, but Yumino made his Rev Pro debut in 2018. And you have to think his excursion is wrapping, and he's going to be ready to return to Japan soon. It's a good point, but still, I think it's, again, just sort of this, cross promotion between New Japan and AEW being able to work a different event. Both brands are being exposed to a whole different audience. And I really do think that AEW wants to go over to the UK at some point. You would imagine they really want to. Like, that's the next place they have to wind up. So what better way to test it out than with a match like this, at a Rev Pro show.
A Rev Pro show.
Rev Pro show. Anywho, we've been going for an hour, guys, and we still have to talk about
the rankings.
The rankings. We have
the
to talk
PC
about.
Police.
Well, I don't know who the PC Police are, but we have to talk about Dynamite. We have to talk a little bit about the card for Death Before Dishonor, because that's happening. So we got a lot of stuff to do. Why don't we pause for a minute and take a break? And while we do,
we're just gonna have dead air. That's so awkward if we all just take a break at the same time.
No, Kate. What I was gonna say is, we are part of this network. I mean, I'm sure you've heard me mention the Shining Wizards Network. For now,
I don't even how do you even network? What's network?
I don't know. But what I do know is that, there are talks that maybe the Shining Wizards Network will sell to the Mark Order podcast, because we're just trying to build up our library. TK's bought Ring of Honor. They're working on their tape library. We're working on our tape library.
Sure. And I think as a developmental podcast, the Shining Wizards is great.
Yeah.
Not even close to what the Mark Order does, but for developmental, I think it's a really good place to start.
Yeah, and we'll pick the bones of, whatever they want to give up. And then, sure, some of it we will bury under the ground and it will never see the light of day again. But, Kate, there are some other shows that are part of the network right now. We've talked about the Shining Wizards, the B show of their own network, over 10 years of mediocrity at its finest. But there are other shows. Were you aware of that?
I had no idea.
Yeah, there are other shows on the network. We have some words from them. And a fun game I like to play is you can guess which shows that we like and which shows that we wish would die a painful kneecap cancer death. So,
Not a kneecap cancer death.
yeah. So why don't you listen up close? And we will be back after a short few moments. Short few moments here on the Mark Order podcast, part of the wonderful, for now, Shining Wizards Network.
Everyone knows a lot of things can change in the span of 10 years. But when it comes to professional wrestling podcasting, one thing is still guaranteed. The Shining Wizards is the only place to get all the latest wrestling news, interviews with the greatest guests, and of course, tons of laughs in discussing the world of wrestling. The show is still available on Monday nights at 7 p.m. East on rantdmradio.com and Rant Entertainment Media on the TuneIn app. And it's still available on all podcasting platforms. To check us out, head over to shiningwizards.com, where it's still wrestling talk and talk about wrestling.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments.
Horns up, everyone. One on the Shining Wizards Network. Be sure every Friday to check out Radioactive Metal. Radioactive Metal is one of the longest running podcasts on the interweb. And every week we bring you a fist full of metal, including interviews with all your favorite artists, discuss all the metal news, and feature the best tunes on the air today. So grab a Lemmy, join your cool Uncle Snowy and co-host Aaron in the pit.
Your recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment broadcasting from the current to the way back. Join the impact player Phil Brea and the Portuguese man of war Choppy for the Turnbuckle Throwbacks Wrestling Podcast. Live every week on rantemradio.com. Get all our episodes over at iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Audio Boom, Google Play, ShiningWizardsNetwork.com, and TurnbuckleThrowbacks.com.
Are you tired of being told what to think and believe by Hollywood elites and politicians who just don't care about you?
Tired of not getting the truth when you watch the news?
Tired of trying to figure out what pronoun to use?
Tired of mob mentality when all you want to do is think for yourself and make up your own mind?
That's where we come in. This is Justin.
And Vince.
Your host of Inconclusive Breakdown.
We are a weekly anti-PC podcast bringing you entertainment and current event news without any spin.
If you want to truly stay informed on what's going on in the world, then give us a listen every Sunday, anywhere you get podcasts, at least till Zuckerberg and Twitter Jack deplatform us.
And as always, we're proud members of the Shining Wizards Network.
Tired of the PC police telling you what you can and cannot say? Want a show that travels back to the 80s and 90s, where the badass hosts have beaten down cancel culture on 3 separate occasions and carried on to gloat about it? Since 2013, The Midnight Jury is that show. Travel back to the malls and arcades, pop in your VHS, and join us where the 80s and 90s return from the dead. Conan, tell them where to find us.
WLWstudios.com, home of the Midnight Jury Podcast, Midnight Mike and Calvin Brody.
Also available on all major podcast platforms via the Shining Wizards Network, and join in the conversation on Twitter at Midnight Jury.
What's up, wrestling fans? You want something awesome? Check out Wrestling Night in Canada here on the Shining Wizards Network. We're 3 Canadian metalheads uniting for the love of pro wrestling. Every episode we go over all the latest news and special events with the odd unique interview as well. So grab a cold one and check out Wrestling Night in Canada,
She
gets up right as the commercials
right
end.
at the last commercial. Sorry, we're laughing. Ryan and I are laughing because we know it's the last commercial in the break, and we just see Kate get up and walk away. We're like, what the fuck? Oh, she's muted. She doesn't even know it. I didn't mute you.
You see this fucking joker? I wanted to stick around so in the private chat we could have all of our inside jokes, but nobody was doing inside jokes with me.
Okay,
So
you
I
weren't
waited
watching
until
the
the
video
last
feed.
one. Oh, I wasn't watching the video feed. Oh no.
I'm going to say this because at some point these commercial breaks are going to be wrapping up. If the network ever dies, it won't because we're just going to buy it anyway. But I will say this, one night we're going to leave our cameras up because it is some of the dumbest shit that we do is when we're off camera during the commercial break because we are just idiots. That's the only thing I could say. We're complete morons.
That is not inaccurate. No bigger moron than fucking Ryan, though.
Whatever do you mean?
Whatever do I... You know what, Ryan? Just go home, okay? Go eat a hoagie. Wash it down with some water. Fucking South Jersey trash.
Whoa.
She's
South
fucking...
Jersey
I don't know who that is. She's gorgeous. What a babe.
There's a
Look at
line
that
through-
blonde. Look
There's
at
a line through her face. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, hey, Gio.
Thank you.
What's up?
Yeah, I was
LSG's in
just
the
gonna
chat.
say, welcome to the Ace of Space. LSG is in the chat tonight. Thanks for checking us out, LSG.
He's
Always
going
a
to
pleasure.
Germany in like 10 minutes from now.
Well, I hope that he's at the airport then. Oh, actually, he doesn't need to. He's got a spaceship, I assume,
Yeah,
right?
duh.
So,
It's called a fucking rocket, Ant. Look it up.
my bad.
Learn a space.
Well, I'm sorry.
A
I guess
space?
he's
Yeah, learn a space, bro.
the space.
Do you even space? Mid?
I'll say this. You know how they've had all those pictures coming from the telescope or whatever it's called?
Yeah, LSG took him.
Yeah, duh. I looked at like 3 of them and I was like, I can't do it. I'm not looking at any more of these fucking things because it makes me feel 100% insignificant in anything that's happening in time and or space.
Yeah, you are.
What
I know.
LSG needs a really good edit Photoshop person so that he could take one of them and just have him in the background of it. Like you just see LSG going across the space.
Yeah.
And I
Flying
saw
across
Photoshop
a little
person.
spaceship.
Yeah, he needs a Photoshop guy.
Oh man. I'm just gonna leave like that
Philly
when
is
Matt
so
did.
stupid at your dumb accent.
Excuse me, one sec.
I'm just here to pop myself.
That got you pop somebody.
Fuck you, buddy. What's your background right now, Ryan? You invited this. You invited this.
No. You started this.
When did I start this? It's not my fault.
Tonight.
Talk, stupid.
I wasn't saying anything, and you just started attacking me.
I gotta put a picture of your face on my little heavy bag back there.
I think you just pointed to the wall because you just want a
For
picture of me
hands.
on the wall. I get it.
Asian Joe does say he's getting Step Brothers job interview vibe with the image directly behind you. It is.
I can't do it. It's too hard with the chair.
And LSG, by the way, did confirm that he is taking his PR, and that's his private rocket.
Nice. That sounds like something else, but well, that's
I'll see if you want to take the private rocket.
it is so weird with my face.
I like to think if you've seen the private rocket, you're in trouble.
Have you?
No,
I have
thank
so
God.
many questions.
No.
I don't know. I
Hey,
hear
should
if you
we-
see the private rocket, you've been having a good day.
Well, it depends on who you are, I guess.
Buster has a red rocket.
Man,
Little
I'll say
buddy.
this: that was that was one of the best gimmicks in the Shining Wizards Discord. Was Buster's red rocket? He was there, and we would talk to him like he was the dog, and then he disappeared, and then he came back, and then he left again, never to be seen or heard from.
I still don't know who it was.
Yeah, I'd like to think that it wasn't anybody. Like it was like a person, right? It wasn't somebody like Kate, doing it.
No, I did not. I did not.
Or Ryan.
I was
or
not enacting my dog's penis in a Discord.
No, it was great though. He would pop in every now and again when we talk about Buster.
Should we talk about AEW?
Why you don't want to talk about Buster's Red Rocket?
We're talking about my dog's dick and how I burnt my butt.
It makes me remember that that South Park episode. Red Rocket.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's talk about rankings.
Yeah.
Anybody want to read the rankings, or I'm going to read them?
You do the boys, and I'll do the girls, and Ryan will do the tags.
That's sexist.
What are you saying? On the size of two men? That's a fat joke I didn't need taken. Thanks, Kate.
I was just dividing up the labor. Fuck all y'all. CM Punk is your champion. Jon Moxley is your interim champion. Pac is your Mid-Atlantic champion. And Wardlow, your newly crowned TNT champion.
What?
Changes music.
I know, but I still like that.
Well, it's outdated now. So go
boy.
scratch. Your top contenders are Scorpio Sky, which is weird because he's kind of injured. Hangman Adam Page, number 2 in the rankings. Jay Lethal, coming from RoH World. Number 3 in the rankings. Orange Cassidy, moving up in the rankings. Repping my shirt for the OC. And number 5.
Powerhouse.
There it is. In the women's division, we've got Thunder Rosa as your women's champion. We've got Jade Cargill as your That Bitch Show champion, your TBS champion. I guess Mayu is the number 1 contender for winning one match, so that's neat. Toni Storm is number 2 in the rankings, despite being Thunder Rosa's tag team partner, which is a little weird. Chris Statlander, number 3. She's coming after Jade Cargill's title. Nyla Rose, number 4, because of course. And Serena Deeb, number 5. I think it'll be our ROH Women's Champion after Death Before Dishonor. I'm just going to throw that out there. Your tag team champions at this point in the evening were the Young Bucks. Your number 1 contenders for
Spoiler alert, I didn't watch it.
You're on the wrong show then. I hate to tell you that.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, rude. For week number 472, FTR is your number 1 contenders for the tag titles. Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, who showed the fuck out tonight in the main event, are your number 2 contenders. Keith Lee and Swerve, your number 3 contenders. Alex Reynolds and John Silver somehow are number 4, and Private Party number 5, moving up into the rankings. And those are your power rankings. I hate them so much. They so rarely make sense.
Yeah, I mean, the one that had made sense to me the most was the men's division, but now it's sort of like doesn't make sense to me anymore.
Yeah, with 4 titles, it gets a little bit complicated too, because you have the interim and the Mid-Atlantic now. It's like, well, who's going after what?
Yeah, but I mean, it did make sense though. At one point, like I think last week and the week before, like you could clearly sort of draw lines to stuff, right? It was like, okay, Wardlow, Scorpio Sky, this guy to Moxley, Jay Lethal to the TV title for Ring of Honor. Like it all made sense. Now it's sort of all over the place. I don't know. What I do know, guys, is that we did have an episode of Dynamite tonight, and this is week 1 of Fyter Fest.
It is. And week 68 of the Mark Order podcast.
Well,
What does that even say, Ryan? Does it say I smell?
I smell.
Like fucking daisies.
I can just leave and let you guys,
Please don't. I don't want to be stuck with this guy.
That
This gal?
that was one of the funniest things that Matt decided to do that night on the Shining Wizards.
Yes, on the Monday show when he just left
God.
and let Tony and Kevin argue about referees for like 40 minutes.
So fucking funny. Yeah, so let's talk about Dynamite tonight. Tonight was week 1 of Fyter Fest from Savannah, Georgia. So they debuted in Savannah tonight. And we opened up with our AEW TNT Championship match, Orange Cassidy versus Wardlow. I'm getting really fucking confused, by the way, when I look back and forth and I see two Kates on the screen. I'm like, what sort of hell is this?
Me too. Honestly, me too. I'm trying to see if I can freeze myself in the same.
Well, I had to change back to this one because otherwise it would be me telling myself I smell, and I'm not going that route.
It would look like you were saying, I smell.
You smell like hoagies.
Ooh, Wawa hoagies?
I did go to Wawa, but I didn't have a hoagie.
What'd you have?
A
quesadilla?
I had a hot dog.
Now he's Southern.
I decided to just go. Just go with accents. That's what I'm going to do from now on. Oh my God.
I've taken enough abuse, especially with LSG in the chat. Thank you very much about hot dog related things. Okay, we can move along.
Nobody even mentioned that. That was, you've just resurfaced it.
Wait, look it up.
Who am I?
Wait a minute. Are you Ryan eating
a water bottle?
Corn? A cob of corn? No? Oh, then you must be Kate eating a hot dog.
Exactly.
Okay.
Did you know it was the 1-year anniversary recently? 2 days ago?
Yes.
I think.
Yes, it was.
Of our trip.
It was.
Oh, crazy, man.
Holy shit, has it really been that long?
Yeah.
Yeah. LSG was there to see the fucked up hot dog eating contest.
Whatever. He eats a banana like a weirdo, so he has no room to
How does he eat a banana?
The same way I eat a hot dog, in your guys' estimation.
With the skin on?
No, I think, I don't know. He's in the chat. Ask him. It's all
just took it
sideways
to a
and
different
weird.
level, and I love it.
Let's talk wrestling.
I'm trying.
No, I'm not.
Honest man.
All right. First match tonight, Orange Cassidy versus Wardlow for the AEW TNT Championship. Let's just cut to the end here. Wardlow wins by pinfall with a single power bomb to retain the AEW Championship. Post-match, Wardlow does offer Cassidy a fist bump, and Cassidy does accept it. Can I just say, guys, Orange Cassidy is a treasure.
Hold on. All conversation needs to stop.
Yeah.
Asian Joe, Chuck Taylor to Wardlow. I hope you know I pack my chainsaw. I'll skin your ass raw. And if my day keeps going this way, I just might break something tonight. Thank you, Asian Joe. Thank you. That song has been in my head since that moment in the match. And then until Kate sung I Feel Like a Woman, and then that got stuck in my head.
Well, you've got a playlist for yourself set up as soon as this show ends.
All right, we can go back. Sorry, as soon as they pulled out the chainsaw, I was like, I got a chainsaw. I'll skin your ass raw. And if my day keeps going this way, I just break your fucking face tonight. Your face off the break.
And he's going to see Dave Matthews on Friday. He's going to the wrong show.
He's just in his own concert.
He is. It's his head concert. So it's,
What does everybody want?
All right,
let's get wrestling.
That's what I'm trying to do. So I think Orange Cassidy is a treasure. He the whole opening of this match tonight was a lot of fun. Doing his normal gimmick and Wardlow sort of not biting on it. That was a lot of fun. I also thought it was fun how before the match started, there was like a little video promo with the best friends at Orange Cassidy. And they said that Danhausen, their lawyer, got them manager licenses. So they were going to be ringside. And they said that it's a tough match. So they were going to cheat. So Ryan's point about Chuck Taylor to Wardlow was at one point they started to get involved, Chuck Taylor and Trent. So Trent tries to pull off the turnbuckle pad. Bryce Remsburg catches him, and then on the other side of the ring, Chuck Taylor pulls a chainsaw out from underneath the apron, and Bryce also catches that. So he throws them both out, and they're not a factor for the rest of the match.
Thank God it wasn't Rick Knox. People would just have gotten sawed in half because that guy doesn't see shit.
He doesn't see anything. I ain't seen nothing. But yeah, I thought this match was. I thought this match was a lot of fun. And I liked all this stuff at the start with, the gimmick with Orange Cassidy. I also like the fact that Wardlow did not hit him with like 5 power bombs to put him down. It was 1 power bomb out of the blue. He takes the pin, But to me, it doesn't make Orange Cassidy look weak, right? He took one power bomb. He got in a ton of offense and pushed Wardlow to the limit. So I don't really think this hurts Orange Cassidy. I thought this was a lot of fun. I see a couple people saying I hated this match. But yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun.
Take it to the limit. No, I agree. This match goes to show was one of the best examples of why Orange Cassidy does what Orange Cassidy does in a match. Like, it showed why he was using mind games, because he knew he couldn't, like, they told that story very well, that he knew he could not match physically up with Wardlow. So he was doing everything he could to avoid it and cause Wardlow to make his own mistake. And I mean, it was so well told. And then Danhausen refusing to curse Wardlow cracked me up. But my moment of the match really is after the chainsaw came out, when Chuck Taylor's getting kicked out, and Wardlow just gives him this look like, a fucking chainsaw? Like, you're going to kill me? It was great acting on Wardlow's part. And that pin was for all the ladies out there. Because almost as soon as it happened, I saw so many tweets being like, this, but with me instead of Orange Cassidy.
It's
so
it's like how Jade has like the step on me crew, the ladies, if they're not thirsting over Tony Nese's abs, like Ant's wife. They're doing that. I'm a little bit in between on this match. Shout out to Asian Joe for saying if Rick Knox was reffing the goddamn chainsaw would be number 3 in the power rankings. That's hilarious. I feel like this was like a little overly gimmick with Orange Cassidy, but I also am very cognizant of the fact that like Wardlow hasn't been doing this long, and I think it actually played to Wardlow's strengths a little bit, because we've seen matches where he's gotten gassed out, and he has to lean heavily into his strength. I thought my favorite spot of the match was not the chainsaw part, but when Orange Cassidy went to put Wardlow's straps back up on his body. That was so fantastic. Great. What a fun piece of storytelling. But not my favorite match in the world, but well constructed, and I think a really fun way to start the show, and I think perfectly serviceable for the type of champion that Wardlow's going to be early on in this TNT run for sure.
Yeah, and they did make mention on commentary too that Wardlow wants to defend this belt regularly on television, right? So hopefully we get to see more of this belt. I think towards the end of Scorpio's run, he was clearly dealing with some injuries and hurting, so that's likely why we didn't see much of it. And also the Forbidden Door and all that kind of stuff in between, so it sucks, but maybe this is going to work out for Scorpio in the end. He can move on to other stuff, and we'll see him once he heals up. It seems like everybody's fucking hurt right now. But a fun opener, and if you didn't think this was fun, you don't like fun. I'll just say it.
It's true.
Kate's been leaning away from fun lately, so I'm not surprised that she was in the middle.
I like fun with substance.
No, you just don't like fun anymore.
I like fun.
You weren't popping when they were saying "scissor me, daddy ass."
Yes, I was.
I don't know.
She was definitely laughing at 69 me, Don.
That was a year ago.
Of course I was. I was totally into scissor me, daddy ass. Anything Bowens does, I'm probably behind. I love that guy.
You were fairly anti-ass boys in anything having to do with ass boys.
I was anti the ass boys. I am not anti Bowens saying scissor me daddy ass. That's just classic.
I think Kate's leaning away from fun, guys.
Maybe. Kate's getting surly in her old age. I know that much. She's got a burnt ass. Her ass is chapped.
Don't go to the beach when it's 93 degrees out and read laying on your stomach. It doesn't turn out well for you.
I can promise you, I never will.
I mean, or Kate.
G-string Ryan gonna get his ass burned. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I won't be reading a book. I'll be shaking that ass down the beach.
That's right. Trying to find all the takers. I will say this, Kate. You surely could have rubbed some suntan lotion onto your hiney.
I sprayed. I did the.
Not good enough, apparently.
Evidently not.
You got to reapply.
Here's the deal, Kate. I'll put on my G-string. I'll show you how to apply suntan lotion to that area properly.
We're gonna record it, and we're gonna have a nice YouTube tutorial of Ryan sunscreening his ass.
If we can ever get a Mark Order podcast beach vacation trip, I mean, the whole thing will be documented. I'll hire a goddamn camera crew.
I just want to point out this is probably the most concurrent viewers we've ever had at a time, and they all came on to hear me say that I'm going to put on a G-string and suntan and push in my ass. So welcome everyone.
Yeah, why do you think more people are tuning in, man?
Kate, you missed it at the beginning because it was just me and Schlong. Somebody said, Asian Joe said, I need to start yelling, like hand job me, Daddy Schlong or Ryan Schlong. And we've turned it into, it's very possible that at some point I'll be like, handy me, Daddy Schlong.
Yeah.
We have a hand motion
that's
during
good.
our 2 for me, 2 for you thing. So it's
No, I like
2
that. That's
for me, 2 for you.
That's
our
good.
handies.
No, that's quite good. I like that.
All right, let's keep going with Dynamite. We did get a recap of Pac's defense of the All-Atlantic title. We talked about that. And then Jericho comes out to address Eddie Kingston. And he says that he's out there as the living legend.
Larry Zbyszko.
What?
You said living legend, so I said Larry Zbyszko.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought you said. You're just a WCW guy. I know it, Ryan.
That's FTR's gimmick right now.
It's very true. And he said he is Eddie Kingston's superior. Kate, this is really going to get Kate fired up, so I can't wait to get her take on this. He said, Eddie said every drop of blood in their upcoming match is for his friends, but being friends with Eddie is a worse curse than anything Danhausen can come up with. Ortiz got his head shaved and lost his dignity. Santana taken out at Blood and Guts. Danielson was taken out at Anarchy in the Arena, and we don't know when he's coming back. And then there's Ruby. She's got a mangled hand and a crushed career. Why barbed wire? Well, he knows Eddie's a mark for Terry Funk and Onita and Sabu. But how many barbed wire matches has he been in? Chris won the first barbed wire match in Canada when he was only 22, and even though the pain was unbearable, deep inside, he felt the pleasure from the barbed wire. He's a freak, Daddy. That's all I know. Next week, he's not going to be facing Chris Jericho, though. He's going to be facing the Painmaker, who's undefeated in AEW and ran roughshod in New Japan. This match is it. There will be no more excuses after next week, and deep down inside, Eddie knows he'll never be at Jericho's level, and if you want blood, you've got it. Every drop of blood he sheds is for one of his sins. He'll make a flood of Kingston's blood so huge that Noah would be jealous, and Eddie's not a liar. He's just a loser. And then we go to break. So, Kate, I'm just going to sit back. The floor is yours. I'd love your take on Eddie Kingston, the loser, in his barbed wire match.
Eddie Kingston. Hello, friends. Eddie Kingston, national, international treasure, in a barbed wire match with a sports entertainer like Chris Jericho. Please. All right, Chris Jericho doesn't stand a chance. Chris Jericho can run his mouth with all of his little promos and his "it's been this many weeks" and check out all my flashy intro entrance bullshit and my little boy band getup. But Eddie Kingston isn't here to fuck around. He doesn't even care about winning the match. He just wants to inflict pain, which is what a barbed wire match, yeah, that's right, is all about. So Chris Jericho doesn't stand a chance. All right. The whole AEW galaxy is behind Eddie Kingston, not Chris Jericho on this. Barbed wire is going to bring back the pain of a 22-year-old Chris Jericho, but he's not 22 anymore. He can't handle it. He's not a pro wrestler anymore. He is a sports entertainer now. Chris Jericho is soft. Okay. Your little mind games and your little entertainment bullshit and your little DQ finishes and whatever the fuck else you want to do in sports entertainment land, it's not going to matter in a barbed wire match. It's going to be pain. And if there's anything Eddie Kingston brings, it's the fucking pain. All right? Did you see gasoline wielding Eddie Kingston? He was going to set 2 men on fire. All right?
Gasoline?
Yeah, gasoline.
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 You're missing a letter in there.
Gasoline.
There you go.
I'm sorry, it's not gasoline or whatever the
It's
fuck
not
you were saying.
gasoline. It's not gas and lean. There's an O in there.
Yeah, you just say it fast. You interrupted me talking about Eddie Kingston. Get the fuck out of here.
You make fun of my accent constantly. I'm gonna make fun of you when you say words
Yeah,
weird.
that's because your accent sucks.
Well, Schlong, clearly Kate loved this promo. And she prefers, we found out a couple things. She likes barge wire matches.
I love them because wire should be made out of barges.
That's right. She also prefers Chris Jericho hard, not soft.
Don't we all?
Most ladies do.
Well, my goodness. So yeah, I mean, we know what Kate's thinking. Schlong, what are you thinking?
I mean, I'm not going to go into this mega rant about barge wire matches.
You should.
But I will point out, does anyone notice that when Jericho walks out, he purses his lips?
Very much so, yes.
I never noticed it before, but it cracks me up now that I know. Like, it's such an arrogant, annoying thing that I should have picked up him doing. It's very funny. Listen, the feud needs to end just because it's going on a while, but they're doing a good job of selling it. I'm very curious to see what this match looks like. You know, I'm not a big Shark Cage fan because anytime I've seen them before, it's always led to a very bad match. But I'll give it a shot. But
Shark Cage, barge wire, this is completely different than anything you've ever seen.
Hard Jericho,
barge wire, Shark Tank.
What ends up, my experience, what ends up happening is a lot of times, like, they end up like looking up at the Shark Tank, trying to grab things from them, and it's like just distracts. Now, if you got Yuta and Daniel Garcia making out in there, which I think was rumored at some point tonight, I'll take that.
I did see that. I will say this. For those who don't know, it's Shark Week next week. This is corporate synergy at its finest, putting them in a Shark Tank. In a Shark Cage. And there were rumors that they were going to somehow be incorporating Shark Week into one of the shows. So this looks like it's it. I'm with you, Ryan. I don't love the idea of a shark cage suspended above the ring. We're going to come back to this subject a little later about the shark cage and Daniel Garcia. So we'll talk about this again. I thought this was a fine promo. It's, if anything, to show that Chris Jericho is taking this more seriously, right? Because Eddie's taking this seriously. So I thought it was a fine promo, and they're just trying to build this for TV next week, right? So I didn't have a problem with it. When we did come back from commercial, though, we had Eddie Kingston cutting a promo. So Kate, will get your rebuttal to this. He tells Jericho to bring the Painmaker, bring the most violent person he can imagine. It doesn't matter. He's going to pay with every ounce of his blood, and he's going to hurt him and enjoy it. Kate, my question to you here is, this Eddie Kingston talking about hurting him and enjoying it and spilling his blood, do you love this more than gasoline-wielding zombie Eddie?
It's just so hard to compare because one was like the man in action, right? And the other is the man talking about it. So it's like just two different forms of love. I think I prefer the visual of zombie, bloodied, gasoline-wielding Eddie Kingston rather than him talking about it. But both are sexy AF.
Okay. All right. Well, Ryan, I don't even know how to address any of that. Ryan, what do you
just say
think?
I agree and we move on. But there's like literally no counterpoint.
Ryan, I have to be fair and balanced here, Kate. Ryan, what's sexier, zombie, bloody, gasoline-wielding Eddie, or Eddie talking about spilling blood and enjoying inflicting pain?
See, I like a talker. I like to hear. So I'm going to go with the verbal.
Look at that. A split decision.
Well, break the tie, Ant.
No, I have no opinion on this. We're just going to keep moving on.
How do you not have an opinion? How are your juices titillated?
Whoa. my juice is titillated, she says. Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought that this was, just a fine rebuttal. I thought that there were some fun stuff in this promo that we didn't just mention here, but coming back from commercial and Eddie's complaining, he got 10 minutes. What do I get? And he's just in the back. And then, he also is like, oh, that was my out. And then he just walks off camera. Oh, also, Kate, the Electric Mayhem. I just assumed that's Dr. Teeth behind the behind the keyboard, typing this out. But he wants to know, what about one-handed kendo stick Eddie?
If I'm the kendo stick, sure.
Oh my goodness!
Whoa. See, now I'm confused. Don't you want to be hit with his kendo stick?
Yeah.
I kind of want him.
Don't
to
you want
me.
his kendo stick being used on you?
Depends on what I'm in the mood for. Sometimes I just want him to touch me, but other times I want him to use the kendo stick at me,
I mean, listen, Kate, we're not here to kink shame anybody. And if we want to, next week on episode 69, we can start to dig deep.
Okay, let's be careful because
seriously,
some wrestling fans are really weird.
I hope nothing happens on next week's Dynamite because I just got like 6 ideas in my head for what we're doing next week, and none of it involves
Tread carefully. I just got back on Twitter, and people are weird.
No, it won't. They'll be more insane than they will be actually. Like, don't worry, Ann will have to give his answers too.
Good.
Mark Quill also want to know, what if Gasoline Bloodied Eddie was walking around screaming bloody murder?
It's just hard because I think there's a tipping point where it's just too much to handle.
Okay. So there is a point where,
diminishing returns.
Yeah.
And, do you remember the show Archer?
I know of Archer. I've never watched it.
There's a perfect line from that, which stop, I can only get so erect. I think that's kind of what Kate is trying to lead to here. It's like there's only so.
My dick is hard on end right now,
so hard.
Yeah, I got a burnt ass.
She's got a clue.
Raging clue. All right, let's keep moving on in the show. We did get an AEW interim World Championship eliminator match. Jon Moxley versus Kansuke Takeshita. I want to say Takeshita again, but it's Takeshita. So again, let's cut to the end and we'll talk about it a little bit. Moxley does win by submission with the Bulldog choke. There will not be a championship match, but god damn, if you haven't been watching and you've never seen Takeshita wrestle, and this was your first time, you need to go back to some of the other times he's wrestled on television. Friday night, the Eddie match, really good. This was really good. He's had some really great showings on television. To be honest, guys, I came out of this thinking, what if they pull him into the Blackpool Combat Club? Like, it is 100% possible because he can go, man. I would also, Mark Will beat me to it in the chat, but he said, give me Bryan Danielson versus Takeshita. Or Takeshita. Sorry. And I would certainly take that as well. I thought this match was a lot of fun. I did get a text from somebody I know saying Moxley's a clown. He shouldn't be wrestling. I don't know what they were watching, but maybe it was just Takeshita looked really, really good tonight, and I think he did. I thought this was a lot of fun. Schlong, you're Takeshita mark. Why don't we get your take first?
I am a Takeshita mark. I see him a lot on Dark and Elevation. He's wrestled a lot there, so I've seen a lot of his matches. He's awesome. I think the one thing people haven't really pointed out is he's got size to him. A lot of these guys who I don't want to sound stereotypical, but it's true of a lot of the guys who wrestled in RoH or New Japan were not always on like the bigger size that come over, and he looked of equal size to Mox, and Mox is not a small guy. Man, he can go. Jesus Christ. He fits well if they want him in the Blackpool Combat Club. I almost hope he doesn't, just because I feel like I want him to continue on his own shining. But whatever he does, he's a star, and it's clear they love him. AEW seems perfect because I don't know how good his English is, but you don't need a promo with him. He just goes out and has awesome matches, and AEW fans love that. And if you need a promo, they have guys there who can talk, and you can give them one of them. And that's, I guess, where the Blackpool Combat Club could come in handy because you have William Regal there to do all his talking. But holy shit, he could be. I can see him being TNT type champion. I could even see him one day if they build him up properly being world champ. Like, he has that level of skill. They just need to. It's all going to be on how they build him.
And I think one thing we've seen, and Kate, we'll get your take, but I think one thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was just
Asian Joe. He's 6'2", 230. I'm a bigger Asian, so take that, Takeshita.
Asian Joe, man.
Asian Joe, you win. I was more speaking of like indie wrestlers than Asian wrestlers, but there you go.
All right.
Asian dudes.
Kid, I was just gonna say, it seems like every time he's on TV and every match, the crowd gets more and more behind him. Almost like what we saw out of Yuta, right? Like when Yuta first started, like people were like lukewarm on him, and then they kept seeing him and he kept performing and the crowd got more and more behind him. It seems like the same trajectory for Takeshita.
In a completely different way, he reminds me, stick with me, because this is gonna sound weird and then make sense. It reminds me of Willow Nightingale a little bit, where there's just like a magnetism that you fall in love with about the person. That's not really something that's necessarily can be like explained or super tangible. Shut up with your silent faces over there. It's just a thing where it's like as soon as they enter the ring, you just kind of like fall in love with this guy. And that's how I've always felt about Willow too. It was just like what a magnetic force. Very, very, very easy guy to root for. The only thing with Blackpool Combat Club is I'm not someone that needs like that is a heel stable and that is a face stable. But some people will probably be like, that guy should be a face because he's really, really easy to root for. I liked his match with Eddie a little bit more on Friday, but I also just fucking love matches like that, like hard hitting. That felt more of the DDT style that he wrestles. Like him and Eddie just dropping each other on each other's necks was insane. But I don't know who your friend is that said Mox shouldn't be in the ring, because I just don't understand it. I don't know if you were texting with old man Tony or Jim Cornette or what the deal was, but Mox, I think, is great. He understands Japanese ring psychology as much as anybody. I think a lot of people forget that before Jon Moxley signed with AEW, he signed with New Japan, and those two promotions were not on speaking terms at the time, but he was so passionate about working Japanese talent that, and Takeshita's from DDT, but the point being, like, he really, really wanted to work Japanese talent to the point where he was willing to put the AEW side of things in jeopardy. So very, very cool that this match happened. It's just cool to see this kind of stuff happening in general on American wrestling television. Like, that's just pretty wild. But I thought the match was great. I absolutely love Takeshita too. I think he has shown what a versatile wrestler he is in each of these matches. Like, this felt very different than him and Eddie on Friday, which has felt very different than some of the ones that he's had on Dark. Like, he can work just about anybody. But very, very, very fun in-ring talent.
I'm going to say something that's going to sound weird, but I think it's important. It is important, whether people want to acknowledge it or not in wrestling, is he's also quite handsome. Oh. So like when you're going to put him out there to be like, hey, we want to put him in front of fans, he's going to become a face of some division or some, doesn't hurt to have a guy who's good looking. So it's weird, but like that is an attribute in his favor that I think no one's going to, except for me apparently, go out and say it, but I it's there. The dude is very good looking, and add all the other stuff he can do. It's just, as long as they don't book him terribly, I don't see how he has anything but major success.
I have a question for Ryan.
Go.
If you love him so much, why don't you marry him?
First of all, great Pee Wee Herman line. If you love him so much, why don't you marry him? Because polygamy is no longer legal, and I haven't decided who I want to marry yet.
Okay, I guess
he's got options, Kate. He's keeping them
open.
open.
I have a big heart.
We've got an FMK brewing then for Ryan as well. Maybe episode 69 we'll do FMKs all around.
And I promise I will fully answer the FMK. I won't try to wiggle out of it. I will answer it.
Okay.
And I was just gonna say, if you want more sexy talk like this, hearing who Ryan's got thinks is very handsome and may one day marry next week, that's your week, baby. Tune in.
Some say love, it is a river. Sorry, I just went to the romance.
No,
section.
keep going.
Yeah, what's beyond that?
I don't know.
You love Takeshita like you love Cinnabon. That's the important thing to remember.
Oh, Cinnabon is so good too.
See, they already have their first date lined up. You guys could go to Cinnabon together and split
I
one.
could drop the icing. Oh, sorry. Never mind. I'm gonna stop
Hey,
there.
You'll drop icing, all right.
Just like Hard Jericho. What?
I'll say this, guys. I've never had a Cinnabon.
I don't.
Anthony Michael.
Listen, Anthony Michael.
Anthony Michael Hall. So I just went with Anthony Michael.
As a large man, I know that's somewhat surprising. I've never had a Cinnabon.
As a human being on Earth.
As a large man myself, have a Cinnabon.
I'm gonna have to try it,
especially when they're hot.
Have I ever had a proper Cinnabon? I think I've only ever split them because it's like a beanbag chair.
You have the whole thing. You enjoy the whole thing. You love the whole thing. You get your face just covered in icing.
You heard it first. Ryan loves having his face covered in icing.
Preferably with Takeshita.
Oh, with Takeshita's
well, I haven't answered that fully yet. Next week.
Tune in next week. All right, we go to a House of Black vignette, and basically they're talking about Darby Allin and Brody King is going to take what's his. So clearly this issue between Brody King and Darby Allin is not over, which could be a lot of fun. Yeah, Dobby. Sorry, Dobby.
That's just my favorite way to say it.
And for those who don't know, this past week, Brody King put Darby Allin through a table at an autograph signing, and they did show some of that footage tonight, which was a lot of fun to see it sort of playing out in the real world. So
I love when they do shit like that, because for those fans in that moment, that's so fucking cool. Because you can't predict it; it'll happen whenever they decide, and like that's a moment that they'll have for the rest of their life. That's so cool.
It's just nice to hear Ryan be positive about something for once.
Seriously, I wasn't going to say it. Thanks, Kate.
Being a grump.
I love that Ryan is like the black sheep of the podcast because he's nice.
Yeah,
and likes things.
He's just not a dick, and we just completely kill him for that. Moving on from this, we have Christian Cage and Luchasaurus enter the arena. And the Varsity Blondes are already in the ring, and Christian Cage cuts a promo talking about how Brian Pillman would be appalled to know that his final contribution to the business was this dork son of his standing in the ring with a mullet. And he starts to go in on Griff, and he puts up a picture that went out on social this week, and he said something was bothering him. He couldn't put his finger on it, and then he realized that the photo he put out looked he looked just like Jungle Boy. And that's when he sicks Luchasaurus on Griff for the match they're going to have. And Luchasaurus is dominant. He squashes Griff Garrison. Cage is sort of directing what's going on during the match, a couple choke slams. And then Luchasaurus does win by submission with this. It looks like a snare trap with a nerve hold on the shoulder. They now call that the tar pit submission.
That's a terrible fucking name.
I mean, come on, he's a dinosaur, the tar pit.
I know, but it just sounds so fucking stupid. And I'm a positive guy. It just sounds so fucking stupid.
Well, Kate, it was nice having positive Ryan.
No, literally, I loved everything about this. I loved everything about this, minus the name.
Post match, let's get to the post match. Luchasaurus choke slams Griff Garrison into Pillman, who is on the timekeeper's table. Unfortunately, does not break on the first choke slam, so we get a second one, and the table
New Japan
breaks.
Tables, bro.
That's
the
right.
forbidden door open to those
Some stiff fucking tables, man. So Ryan loved everything about this, including the talk about Pillman being dead, or his father being dead.
Way to frame that, you dick.
Ryan loves that Brian Pillman is dead. That's what I heard.
I love that Christian is. He walks a very, very thin line, but he stays on the right side of it. I'm assuming he clears all this ahead of time. But it makes him an excellent heel. I love that just the thought that who the fuck is Griff Garrison looks like Jungle Boy, which is a nice callback, but it's just a thought. Yes, exactly. Like Electric Mayhem said, call back to PTE. Just the thought that, oh, this guy looks like Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus wants to kill him. Like, just cracks me up. And then I appreciate that Brian Pillman is in the worst jorts I've ever seen in my life. They were like cut off jorts.
Yeah,
I didn't
it was
even.
fantastic.
It made him more of a dork, and they were making fun of him for being a dork. So it kind of fit.
Well, they
So
made him John Cena.
no, John Cena's weren't cut off, were they? Like these were
No.
frayed.
No, his were John Cena's were dorkier. They were like cargo jorts at one point. Kate, I think what we're learning.
I wouldn't know. I
here-
couldn't see him.
Oh Jesus, Kate. I think what we're learning here tonight is that clearly Ryan Schlong doesn't know fashion. You and I, we know fashion. Ryan doesn't.
The Young Bucks, they know fashion. Ant rocked the dangly a couple times. He knows fashion. I obviously know fashion. Look at my outfit tonight. I gotta just.
Here comes Kate, hating on fun, hating on fun, hating on fun.
There has been nothing that I've seen out of Brian Pillman Jr. that I'm like,
Oh,
this
okay,
guy's got it. I don't need to see him on my screen. I really like Griff Garrison. I'm just very. I feel like this is like a little mean and hot takey, but like I feel like if Brian Pillman didn't have his dad's legacy, he would just be like a guy on the indies who was very medium. Like I just don't see what other people see in him. I think Griff Garrison is great. I would like to see him get highlighted, but I really don't need like the Varsity Blondes like as a tag team in this division. Maybe in RoH, maybe there's something to that, but I just don't need any of that. I think Christian has been doing fantastic work. And I think I said this once before, so sorry if it's redundant, but like what's amazing about Christian's work in this is while everything he's saying is new and fresh, like it is the most fundamental heel work ever. Like it's so, me and Christian are both basic bitches, but he is not in a pumpkin spice latte way, but he is just like doing perfect heel framework stuff and filling it in with stuff that's really like fresh and new and specific to his opponents, and still like Ryan said, like walking the line, but like it's all it all just follows clean heel rules. Like it's just very, very veteran, simple but great work. A lot of times simple stuff in wrestling is the best, right? Good guy, bad guy. Like who's a more pure babyface than Jungle Boy? Be a perfect heel. Like it's just really, really good stuff. So I really like this from Christian. And it's nice to see, because he was in such a advisory role for so long. It's nice to see him get some spotlight because he was doing so much guidance before. So I really liked this. I understand why Gina is in love with him. It makes sense.
Too. I do too. A couple things here, Kate. I like your points. One, based on that outfit, I'm pretty sure he likes a pumpkin spice latte. Two,
I get apple cinnamon vibes from him, but
it's possible. It's possible. You know, he could be a little freaky. Two, sometimes wrestling does need to listen to the great advice of Michael Scott. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. It'll hurt your feelings every time he says it, but it's good advice.
It's very true.
Every time I'm trying to like think through something, I think, what would an idiot do? And then I do not do that thing. So
also good advice. Can I tell you guys a quick personal jorts story?
Please.
Yes.
Timestamp.
No, it's not. I mean, you could certainly timestamp this, but one day way back, when Gina and I were living in our apartment, I don't remember what happened, but I woke up that morning and, you know, I was getting ready to go to work, and I went to put on my jeans and they were ripped. So I threw them in the garbage, And I went to work, and I was talking to Gina through the day. I was having just a terrible day, and she knew it. And so I got home that night, and she's just like, "I'm so sorry you had a bad day." She's like, "But I got you a little something." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And she went and got it, and it was like a gift bag with tissue paper and all this stuff. It was like all this wrapped up, and I was like, "Oh my God, like you didn't have to do it." She's like, "Don't worry about it. It was nothing." And I open it up, and it's a cut off pair of jeans. She took the jeans I threw away and cut the legs off, and they were short shorts. And I was like, "Why did you do this?" She's like, "I thought it would be funny." And I was like, "This was not funny."
What a
I had a
woman.
terrible day. But I did keep them. I think I've even put them on. She's like, "Can you just put them on so I could see how hilarious this looks?"
She wanted to see you in those shorts.
It was
wear short shorts.
Ryan, I know you watch Always Sunny, right? Kate, do you watch Always Sunny?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Do you remember the episode where they were stuck in the pool and he was wearing the short shorts? And
I went with Kate on that one. I thought he was doing the butt dance, but okay.
No. Where they were stuck in the pool and he was wearing the short cut off shorts, and he's like, "No, I can go further." That's like how short.
That's where we were at.
Yeah,
Damn.
she thought it was hilarious. I was like,
"You should be honored." She was like,
I really thought that there was a gift here to make me feel better, but instead I just
it was a gift to make her feel better.
Yeah, she was like, "Show me them ham hocks."
That's the closest I've gotten to jorts. I'm sure back in the day, I
definitely rocked jorts as a kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't recall because I don't have any of that, but yeah, there you go, Mrs. Money, hilarious, pulling them out of the garbage and chopping them up for me to try on. That's why I married her.
Back in style.
That's why I married her.
Okay.
What?
I didn't know about
you guys
that.
Polygamy is illegal.
I didn't know about that. We'll have to have a discussion, Kate, because you're clearly coming up short on the rent every month.
It's casual. Sorry, I take it back.
Okay. Guys, we go to 2.0 and Daniel Garcia getting interviewed backstage. And Daddy Magic says that the JAS are sick of cages and they have questions and they want the rest of Eddie's pals in a cage too. And my favorite part of this was Cool Hand Ange pulls out his switchblade comb and Shivani gets all nervous and he just goes, "Don't worry, it's just a comb." And then they leave. But Garcia says that he gets why they want him in a shark cage. He's nasty and dangerous, and Yuta's been doing his best Garcia cosplay for the last 6 months. And that he's going to take the Ring of Honor Pure Championship from Yuta at Death Before Dishonor. So I assume this is where people said, "Oh, they're going to make out in a cage now during this match." I don't know how anybody got it from this, but listen, if it's what the people want.
What I saw on Twitter, it's what I want now.
So I on Tuesdays I have to cover NXT, and it's a lot of very manufactured horniness, the very high school product. This is organic horniness that we see all over. We see Step on Me Jade. We see Power Bomb Me Wardlow. This is stuff that the fans want. And that's the biggest difference between these two very horny promotions.
Very horny.
You know what the greatest thing about what you just said is, Kate? You can be power bombed by Wardlow and then Jade can come step on you. You can have everything.
It's beautiful. We're open, right? AEW is for everyone. So
right.
wherever you fall in the spectrum.
That's right.
I don't want Wardlow stepping on me, though. I love him, but my organs can't take that.
Yeah, no, that would be rough.
You want him to powerbomb you, though.
Oh, badly.
It was so sincere.
It was. The twinkle in Schlong's eyes.
Instead of the weird panting that was happening into the microphone in the main event.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, the one thing I took out of this is that it sounds like they're going to have all of the members of the Jericho Appreciation Site in the cage. I'm interested in seeing how big this goddamn cage is. They were also very concerned with how high up this cage is going to be. So it was just really funny. Listen, 2.0 are continuing to do great work anytime they're on camera. Just so funny The switchblade thing with the comb really made me laugh. It's like, don't worry, it's just a comb. And then they just walk off. A lot of fun. So we'll see what happens next week in the Shark Cage barbed wire everywhere match between Jericho and Eddie Kingston. We also get Hangman Adam Page interviewed backstage, and he's a little disappointed he didn't get a title shot out of the Royal Rampage. And then that's when Reynolds and Silver roll up, and Silver says that they're pissed off on Page's behalf, and they challenge the spooky dorks in the House of Black to a match on Rampage. So it looks like we are going to get the House of Black versus Hangman and Silver and Reynolds.
I don't think Hangman's part of that. Is he part of that? I thought it was going to be a tag match. Like a straight 2-on-2.
I don't know, and I'm sure that there's spoilers out there now because they were taping tonight, but it seemed like on TV it was going to be a 3-on-3 match, but maybe not. I don't think Buddy Matthews is cleared to wrestle. So it very well could just be a tag team match, and maybe Hangman was just going to be ringside or something.
Very interesting attire for Hangman.
Yes, the tie-dye shirt. Not very cowboyish.
With the headband.
Kate, that's fashion.
Like someone else.
That is fashion.
Fashion. We get Jim Ross to make his entrance on commentary for the second half of the show, which is just fine. And then we roll into Claudio Castagnoli versus Jake Hager. Two once friends, now bitter rivals. Cutting to the end of this, Claudio does win by pinfall with the Ricola Bomb. And so he stays undefeated in AEW at the moment. Looked like it was going to be close here because 2.0 comes out to do the run-in, but he's able to stave it off. So again, I think this is everything you want to see out of Claudio in AEW, right? He comes out, he does the quick opener with the running uppercut, and then he goes to put Hager immediately into the neutralizer, and that gets blocked, and then he tries to go into the giant swing, and he doesn't get to do that at that moment in the match. Just a lot of fun what we're seeing out of Claudio so far in AEW, and showing, man, like for the time he spent away, hasn't really hurt him. I thought this match was a lot of fun. Hager, different story. That guy just seems like there's a lot of ring rust, and maybe he needs to spend more time in the ring.
He looked so lost in this. Claudio looks extremely comfortable. Like it's nice to see. I don't know if it's because, like, I know in WWE the word was that he basically always hated his entrance. Like the music drove him nuts, which is why he was literally wearing headphones for a while. And it's such a different presentation that I wonder if he just he always looked great in the ring, but there's just like an extra layer of comfort, it looks like, since he's been in AEW. He's just a blast. Like he's such a special talent. Like I love the dude. I'm so happy to see that from him. Jake Hager, I could not ever see in a wrestling ring again, and that would be fine. It cracks me up that like on the first episode ever, right, he was revealed as like the big get.
Right, he was the heater. Yeah,
he was. It was like, guess who we've got? And they were like, people chanted "We the People," and Jericho was like, it was a stupid idea from bad creative. And I'm like, he has done nothing in AEW that has made me think he was good. A vacuum of excitement. He is human ambient, and I am bored. So he did not look good tonight, but Claudio did, and that's kind of what matters more. But fun that they leaned into a previous story that was there. I'll always mark out for them talking about history of their careers, because that's a good thing. And JR being on only 1 hour of Dynamite, beautiful. We love that.
I don't have a problem with it. It does make it seem like this is a big deal. The second hour, has things that you can't miss. So I think it's fine. And I think I like having Taz on the whole show. I think Taz is really good.
Taz and Excalibur are so good together.
Yeah. It's a good change. A positive change.
Schlong, what'd you think here?
First of all, Claudio's music is amazing. I love it so much. It was smart to have Hager be an opponent in the sense of there's not many. Fuck you, Kate. There's not many people in AEW that are of the same size as Claudio, so it was nice to give him a guy of equal size. Do we have any Coheed and Cambria fans out there?
Coheed and Cambria?
No.
I don't oppose them, but I.
Well, there's a reason because all I keep singing is the line Claudio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I keep singing that every time I see him. But no, he's awesome. So this is a perfect fit for him right now. At least everything they've done right. And Hager is what Hager is, and that's all I have to say about that.
Well, let's keep moving on. We do get a little segment with Hook backstage, and Lexi Nair asks him about his undefeated streak and if he thinks he'll get a title shot, and he just says nothing and walks off. So everything you want out of Hook.
Which means title shot will be coming.
For the FTR belt, baby. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do I want to see him go for that TNT title against Wardlow? Absolutely not. But do I want to see him go for that FTR title?
Kate? The what belt, Aunt and Kate?
Or FTW, sorry, excuse me. Kate said FTR and I put FTR in my brain. FTW.
My bad. FTW belt. I want that to be like a 4-month feud with Ricky Starks. I want that to be 3 matches built out really well. For the honor of his father, god damn it, all day. Let's go.
I was gonna say the reason that I think he could do that is because then it sort of dissolves Team Taz, right? Like Taz would be like, he's my son, and then Starks and Hobbs are like, what the fuck? We've been here since the start, So, yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun. But just a quick, beautiful segment out of Hook. He's so well spoken,
very articulate.
It was great. Let's see. Back from commercial, and we get an interview backstage with Thunderstorm, and that's when Team DMD rolled in, and they're clearly setting up for Tony Storm, Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. So we'll see how that plays out.
It's hard to hate her though.
Oh snap!
That sandbag thing was phenomenal.
You carry her for a month.
So good. And clearly, I think a good sign that they are. It's obviously the hatchet is buried if they are putting the sandbag situation on television. But I popped huge for that, and I think that'll be fun. I think that might facilitate Jamie Hayter and Britt splitting up as well, which I think is good and probably due. I think that's a good way to have Britt have an exciting program that isn't near a title. It was just nice to see her back on television. She's been gone for a few weeks, so nice to see her.
Yeah, although there was some question as to her fashion choice in my household. Sure. The jeans were questionable. Kate, I'm sure you thought the same thing.
I did. Not the best. Not the best.
And Jamie Hayter is stuck in the 90s, but she's British, so it sort of makes sense.
That's true.
Well, the 90s have kind of come back a little bit. It's weird.
I hear that the dream of the 90s are alive in Portland. If you're a Portlandia fan. Moving on from this, we do get Serena Deeb versus Anna Jay. It's a little homecoming show for Anna Jay. Cutting to the finish, Deeb wins by submission with the Serenity Lock. And she keeps it on post-match. That's when Mercedes Martinez runs in to make the save. So clearly, again, we're just kind of getting to Death Before Dishonor. Listen, this match was what it was. I thought there was a lot of sloppy moments in this. I don't know who that's on. I think Anna Jay is still just a little green. And she hasn't really wrestled a lot lately. So, maybe some ring rust. I don't know. But I just know it was a little sloppy. They pulled it off in the end, and it's clearly just, Deeb's not going to lose going into a pay-per-view, right? So we're just putting Deeb on to drive interest to the match, and clearly that's what we get post-match. So I didn't have a problem with this. Seeing Anna Jay back in the ring, fine, but clearly she needs to continue to, I think, do a little bit of work. It is what it is. Also, thank you to Mark Quill. he says the entrances for this match were 143. The segment, the first segment of this was 2 minutes 17. They spent 3 minutes in picture-in-picture. To the finish was from picture-in-picture to the finish was 3:06, and then post-match 1 minute. So we're looking at roughly, okay, let's call it 2, 4, 8. Sorry, I lost my place. 8, 11, 12 minutes. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. I'm rounding here. So, it is what it is, but, I don't know where we go from here. We talk about it every week. They need to spend more time with the women. They need to give them more exposure. They need to get them out of this death slot, at the 9:15, 9:30 mark, but they're just keeping with the formula. So,
they are developing stories though, because we got we got the baddies on tonight.
Well, we'll talk about the baddies. We got to talk about the baddies.
We will, but I'm just saying
talk about the baddie.
I'm just saying it's an encouraging sign that we got that match, the baddies, Thunderstorm. We have Tay and Ruby. Like there are, and I don't want to give them too much credit because we've definitely seen them put their foot on the gas and take it off before. Like there's definitely been encouraging signs of things, and then they pull it back. But it is really good to see longer term stories being told that don't only involve Britt Baker. That was the curse for a really long time, and no offense to Britt, but it's just encouraging to see some longer term stuff getting built out here with people that they brought in to do exactly this, right? Ruby Soho, Toni Storm.
Right.
These are names that were supposed to be a big deal, and now I think that they've gotten, and Electric Mayhem pointing out in the chat too that Tay and Anna Jay, it seems like there's a thing, so it's good. Like we're starting to see some development in that way. I just hope they stay the course with this stuff.
What do you think of the match itself, Kate? Did you see what I saw? I just thought it was a little sloppy.
Yeah, I think Anna Jay just needs more reps, because I felt like when she has had reps, she's actually been very smooth in the ring, and this felt pretty clunky to me. And Serena is not a clunky wrestler. She's not someone that, God, really in ring lacks much of anything that I could think of. Like she's pretty damn good. So I think between this and her second match with Jade was not as good as her first match with Jade. Like I think she just needs more time, and that's the risky run when you just allocate such little time to women's matches. But we'll see.
Schlong, what'd you think of this one?
I mean, it had sloppy moments, but overall I enjoyed it. I agree Anna Jay needs more reps, but I like her style. I think she's a very unique style for that division, so I'm excited. There's times she delivers that kick in the corner, like where she turns her back and lifts her leg up, and I can tell when she's having a better match versus a worse. It's depending on the speed at which she delivers that. When she doesn't have to slow down so much, you can tell it's a better match. I really liked the twirly thing they did, where Deeb had her and like behind, and she just kept twirling her to make her disoriented, which would also make Deeb disoriented, but it's like Cesaro's swing would also make Cesaro I get it. But I just thought it was really fun and interesting. And I can't wait for Deeb versus Martinez, and I like the storytelling, which you'll get to between Tay and Anna. So
well, moving on to some more female-oriented segments, we go on to Jade Cargill and the baddies being interviewed backstage, and Jade and Kiera Hogan start to berate Layla Gray, who is with the group, and Stoke tells her to trust him, and they're going to be watching Athena and Chris Statlander on Rampage Friday night. And then Kiera Hogan says that Layla might be an interim baddie, but she's not ever going to be a baddie, period. So, guys, another week without another week of the baddies, another week without Sunny Kiss.
Wow, Buster is pissed
Buster
about
knows.
it too. He should
Buster
be.
knows.
He should be annoyed.
I'll just say it again. I've been saying it week over week. Get it, Buster? I know, man. We got to get to Stoke. We got to continue to stoke the fire and just get at him.
So much of that pun, Ant.
I
know I hurt you with my hatties and baddies pun. I saw the physical pain on your face, so
I just need to beat you to it. We need to get to Stoke and remind him that we need him to continue to work on getting Sunny Kiss as part of the baddies.
You mean Stokely?
Stokely.
Listen, y'all, we need Stokely Hathaway to go and get.
What is that?
Because I don't want you to make fun of my accent. So
Well,
I'm
that's
just doing
even
something
worse.
weird. Yeah, but this time I'm doing it on purpose. I love the interim baddie thing. That is cracking me the fuck up. Which I'm hoping leads to like the reveal of the real new baddie, which should be Sunny, but either way is a good story. And Stokely's line of what was it? Fuck, what did he say? He had a great line tonight. And I'm forgetting
Wu-Tang
it
is
already.
for the children.
Yeah, Wu-Tang is for the children. Crack me the fuck up.
Yeah, he said Stokely is for the baddies, just like Wu-Tang is for the children.
God, he's so good.
He is. He's really good at this. It's really fun too. He was like the watchable thing on NXT, and then to see him get to thrive in an environment like this is such a better fit, both presentation-wise and just like Stokely and the baddies just makes so much sense. I also appreciate a few things. One, I love that the thinking of this was like, we can have an interim baddie if they have an interim champion here. That's just like a fun place for that to get derived from. And also, I think Jade's probably going to drop the title soon. I'm hoping it's to Chris Statlander. But some dissension within Stokely, who came in as a publicist, but seems to just be in a more managerial role, I think is a really good call. Like, the turbulence should happen at the same time that Jade is about to drop the title, and we will see how that plays out. So I'm excited for it. I think it's good, and it's just nice. Like, we don't have a lot of long-term stories here. I think I said this last week. Like, it's just nice. Like, there's been a nice feud brewing between Athena and Chris and the baddies, and it's just good. And of course, Chris and Stokely after she bopped him on the head the way she did. So that's always fun. But it's just good. Managers make people feel more important, like off the bat for the most part, as long as they're doing their job. So good shit.
Man, breaking news. Andre Palat signed a 5-year deal with the Devils.
Cool. Andre the Giant?
I just wanted to give you a Devils signing.
It's not the one I wanted.
No, it's not that. It's a very mediocre signing, like all the signings the Flyers made. But I saw it come across and I had to say something.
Thanks, Schlong. I appreciate it.
No problem. I'm here for you, buddy.
We'll be at the basement for the next 6 years.
With the Flyers, don't worry.
Okay, moving on from the baddie segment, we do go to Tay Conti visiting Anna Jay in the trainer's room backstage because Anna Jay's knee was not injured, but tweaked during her match with Deeb. And Tay basically says that Anna Jay needs to start making better choices for her career like Tay Conti did. So maybe we're going to heat up a little feud here between Anna Jay and Tay Conti. I find it very interesting that Tay Conti puts a ring on her finger and all of a sudden she's not even wrestling anymore. Come on. Pam would never let that happen.
So my only thing about this is I love like Tay going in there because now that she's heel being like, what are you doing? But the line of like, you need to make better decisions for your career. What did Tay do? Like, I mean, like if you really think about it, yeah.
She broke up a marriage and an engagement, and now is.
That's my point. Like, if you really think about it, it's like,
got
what
called
did you do?
a slut by Dan Lambert for like 6 months. That was like
I guess it's like, hey Anna, listen, be called a whore for the next 6 months, and you'll be in a better position. It's like, okay, but I do like the idea of these two feuding.
Yeah, it's just a little. I feel like Anna Jay should be a face, and I think Tay should be a heel for a while. I think that makes sense. But it's just also a little confusing because we don't have a tag team division, but the women's champion is in a tag team. So it's like breaking up a tag team is kind of like, all right, so what? A little bit. Like, it doesn't actually mean anything to be in a tag team.
Right.
But this is fine. Like, it's more development across the board, which is exciting. Maybe you'll see more Anna Jay and Ruby Soho teaming at some point against Tay and Horror Shield to be named later, because that's what she is now.
Yeah.
But I hope we get to see Tay in the ring. She improved so much. I don't want her to backslide. And I think she, I don't know, she just deserves it. She won over a lot of people. So let her wrestle. She's more than a side piece.
Boom. Roasted. All right, guys, we're into the main event of the night.
And your heart sucks. Boom. Roasted.
Stanley, you crush your wife during sex. Boom. Roasted. Creed, your breath stinks. Boom. Roasted. Sorry, I lost my spot. Okay, we're at the main event. Absolute Ricky Starks and Powerhouse. Will Hobbs versus Swerve in Our Glory versus the Young Bucks. And this is a triple or nothing match where the belts are on the line.
That makes no fucking sense.
Listen, I know it doesn't. That's what they called it. I'm just telling you what they called it.
But you know when that would have made sense? Is if you had FTR in it, because they got fucking 3 belts.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I'm just saying it didn't make any fucking sense.
Well, here's what makes a lot of sense is that this match...
Dollars?
We're at the main event. We're so close.
We're so close. I don't even have news and notes because it's been pretty quiet. What I can tell you is that this match was pretty phenomenal. This was a pay-per-view quality match on free television. In a result that really surprised me, Swerve in Our Glory wins by pinfall with the Swerve Stomp from Strickland on Ricky Starks to win the AEW World Tag Team Championships. So the Bucks are 2-time champions, hold it for a couple weeks here, and drop them to Swerve in Our Glory. And they weren't factored in the pinfall either. So one for me, that's fine because the Bucks don't look weak here, right? They weren't even factored into this. 2, they sort of have a claim, I guess, if they want to run a match back, right? That they could have a single, tag match with Swerve in Our Glory, which would be fucking awesome too. But man, I was not expecting this. If I'm being totally honest, I just thought it was like, all right, the Bucks are going to retain. This is going to be an entertaining match, and then we're going to be on to FTR at some point. But that's clearly not the plan. So I guess let's go to Kate first. Kate, did this surprise you as much as it did me? Because I had no idea this was coming.
I don't think as much as it did you. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I wasn't that shocked that it did for a few reasons. One, I think the plan was for the Hardys to have a run with this, and that's not happening anymore. So having the Young Bucks dethrone Jurassic Express is better booking than it would have been to have Swerve in Their Glory dethrone Jurassic Express, I think, because there's just so much prestige that goes along with the Young Bucks. Because the Hardys aren't having a run, and because Keith Lee and Swerve are not going to be near singles titles for a while, I think this is a great call. They work unbelievably well together. This match was phenomenal. Ricky Starks, man. Like, I tweeted it like I was just, if he's not everything you're looking for in a pro wrestler, you're looking for the wrong things in a pro wrestler. Ricky Starks is
absolutely.
We're so close.
Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks, he's just great. Like, everything fundamentally that he does is so great. And on top of that, he's an incredible storyteller with every choice that he makes. And I just am gushing about the guy because I just feel like he has everything. Like, he has so much charisma. He's so great on the mic. Execution of moves wise, he's great. And everything he does makes so much sense in the ring. Like, it's so, people always are like Brett versus Sean, right? Like, he kind of, to me, has a bit of a blend of them. which I think is cool. Like, I think he has all the stuff Sean was great at, but he has like the fundamental base of a Bret Hart, which is incredible. A lot of people comparing him to 97 Rock, which I think is fantastic. He is making me gush. Not as much as Legado Kingston, but
Whoa.
Hey-o! But sincerely, like I think he has been like the person I've been thinking would be the breakout star of the year, and then you look up and you're like, holy shit, we're in the middle of July, right? Like, let's give Ricky his due. He's had some really great matches, that main event at Rampage, like, but I'm just continually so impressed by the layers that we see from this guy. Like, he's so suave, he's so great moveset wise in the ring, and then on top of that, like, he just makes very, very logical choices, and he's a great seller. Like, he just does a lot of things extremely well. I really, really hope he continues to get featured and more prominently featured as time goes on, because I just think he's fantastic, and I loved everything about this match. God, Swerve is insane. What are you laughing at, you clowns?
No, I didn't. Kate, you missed Ryan and I both in the same sexy pose, and I didn't even. That's what was making me laugh. I didn't realize.
I caught it, and that's what started making me laugh. No, we were both doing this, and I saw Ant do it, and then I started laughing, and I held it for a little while longer, and then I brought my arms down.
Sorry, I didn't mean to break you, Kate.
No, that's okay. I was talking about how Ricky Starks fucking rules. So, yeah, mentioning it in the chat too, that his spear was vicious for like a.
He's got a better spear than pretty much everyone right now.
Yeah, it's incredible. Swerve is insane. Keith Lee, to me, reads as like, if Brock Lesnar is a freak for his strength and his speed, Keith Lee is a freak of nature for his strength and his agility. Like, I don't understand how a human being is capable of what he's capable of. And the Young Bucks are the Young Bucks. Like, Matt Jackson is one of the best sellers in the world. Nick Jackson is one of the best moveset guys in the world. This was just a blast and just so well agented. Like, everything made sense. I bit at a couple of different pinfalls in this. At one point, I thought that like Hobbs was putting people away. He broke both of the Young Bucks. But what I've loved about Starks and Hobbs, in addition to all the gushing I just did about Ricky, is like, I think Hobbs still has a way to go on the storytelling front, and Ricky fills all those gaps where Hobbs can just show off all of his strength. And how far he's come along and what he's really good at. So they've been
Ricky's
a fantastic
filling gaps
tag
and Kate's gushing.
Man,
look, it's a tough life. Someone's got to do it.
And we're not even next week's show yet. This is a lot of sexy talk.
I'm warming up.
Two things real quick, Schlong. One, Gordon Post says the Bucks now have both the longest and shortest title reigns. So that's
neat.
Interesting. And
know what's crazy about that? I can name so many matches from their longest title run that I thought were so great, and I can also name one from their, like, I feel like both of the triple threats of their title runs were fantastic too, and there were only like 2 defenses, which is pretty cool. Like, that's a mark of a special tag team, I think.
The other thing I wanted to call out, I don't know if anybody else saw it, but on I think it was the Instagram. I don't know if it was AEW's Instagram or if it was AEW on TV Instagram this week, but it made me laugh. They had a picture of Ricky Starks doing his, like pose, like, the hand on his face, head down thing. And the caption just said, like on the photo, it just said, how many times does Ricky do this in the title match Wednesday night? It just made me laugh. I thought that was funny.
Did you see his response?
I did not.
He said 69 because he knows
he's listening.
The episode of the Mark Order coming up is episode 69.
He's listening, and he knows that you gush over him. So, Schlong, what did you hear? Are you gushing over there in your seat when you think about this match?
Oh, I'm gushing. Listen, I can't. You guys have pointed out how great a match it was. obviously the thing coming out of this is Swerve in Our Glory winning. People were loving it. It's getting all this great attention, but it'll be hard to ignore. There was a moment in the match where Ricky like cleared the ring and he was the only one in there standing, and the crowd was one of the loudest crowd reactions all night. And I think that's going to be hard to ignore, that people are clearly very behind him. So he comes out, so does Hobbs, but Ricky really as an individual comes out the best looking in this match. I think he's the one who did the most, but it's so nice to see Swerve in Our Glory. I wonder if it's to avoid the Bucks FTR match for a little while, or if it's to have a Bucks FTR match that has no title involved. So, or maybe just the RoH title and not the AEW. Like there's a whole couple stories you could have there. But this is great. I mean, Swerve and Lee are amazing. And this is one of the things about the AEW tag scene is that being put together as a team and being made champs isn't like a bad thing. In some other companies, being tag champs is almost meaningless, and being a tag team is a demotion. And that's not the case in this company. I'm just trying to
I was just emphasizing that it's a demotion in some other companies.
Right.
I was agreeing with you.
Demotion. Go down.
I don't have words now. Kate has hurt me deeply, but I'll try to continue. But yeah, like here it's a big deal, partially because part of their founders were a tag team, but they treat they're getting the main event. This win is treated as a huge fucking deal. So I'm really excited for what's next. These two are going to kill it, and then they'll have a breakup, and I'll be very excited for their feud. So everything's going good.
Well, it was some main event. I will say that if you did not see the main event, you should certainly go back and check it after hearing us talk about it. A couple things to note too about the main event and specifically Keith Lee. Keith Lee had put some tweets out, kind of leading up to this, that he was sending out some prayers to some people he knew. And that while he was getting some, he got some bad news, he was still going to be on Dynamite tonight, so nothing with that was changing. And then actually, after the match tonight, AEW, they kept the cameras rolling, and they addressed the crowd. Keith Lee specifically spoke to the crowd about what's been going on, and he dedicated his victory to a friend from Texas. He said, "This is more than just a victory for me. This is more than just a victory for our story. This, sir, is a victory for you and a statement of my goddamn love. I will always be there, always. And when I get back to Texas, I swear to God, I'm going to get in my car, drive my ass to Austin, Texas. And I will see you as soon as I can, my friend. Stay strong, fight like we've done, fight harder than we have, fight harder than I did to live. And I'll be there soon, my friend." Apparently, he's got a friend in Texas who was recently diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. So dedicated the victory to his buddy. That video's out there now on AEW's YouTube, so you can certainly check it out. And that was the show tonight, guys. So it was a pretty fun episode of Dynamite for week 1 of Fyter Fest. Next week is week 2, but Friday night we'll have a Fyter Fest Rampage. Week 2 of Fyter Fest will have the Dynamite, and the big match there is the Barbed Wire Everywhere with the shark cage hanging above the ring. So make sure you check that out. We also have to just touch on quickly, Death Before Dishonor is coming up next weekend. On the 23rd, and the card is actually shaping up pretty nicely. We know that we're going to have the World TV title defended, Samoa Joe versus Jay Lethal, who will have Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh in his corner. The Ring of Honor World Tag titles will be on the line, FTR versus the Briscoes. So a lot of people weren't sure if that was going to happen again. It is.
Hell yeah.
And it will rule. So that alone should sell this pay-per-view.
I will rule you. Sorry.
We'll also have the
Don't
Pure
do that
title.
when my face is behind you. That's just rude.
We'll also have the Pure title on the line. Wheeler Yuta defending against Daniel Garcia. And we'll have the women's world title, Mercedes Martinez versus Serena Deeb. Again, this is taking place in Massachusetts. Tickets are on sale now, so you can get those tickets if you're local. That pay-per-view should be a lot of fun. We have a little time. We're not sure. Ryan and I know for the first pay-per-view, we did like an impromptu sort of post-show recap. We're talking about maybe doing another one after this one. We're going to see if our schedules will allow it. So stay tuned. We'll let you know if that's going to happen. And the other thing, this is really freaking me out because Kate's sort of doing the pose. The other thing that kind of broke
can't
tonight.
see how hard I'm laughing at the fact that I caught her trying to do the pose at the beginning, and I'm dying right now.
The other thing that came out tonight was they finally announced where All Out's going to be. Kate did sort of mention it earlier, but All Out will be in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, at the Now Arena on Sunday, September 4th. But all week long they'll be in the arena. So that means Wednesday, August 31st, they're going to have Dynamite live on TBS. They're going to do Friday night, September 2nd, Rampage live on TNT. And then the 4th, Sunday, All Out's live pay-per-view. Tickets for all three go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So if you are in those areas or you would like to travel, you can get those tickets at AEWTix.com and Ticketmaster. Kate is disappointed because she thought it was going to be in Newark. A lot of people thought it was going to be somewhere else. Mark Quill is hurt that it's not in Toronto. So yeah, unfortunately they're going back to Chicago, where they've run this historically. So if you can get there, get there. If not, next time they roll through town, certainly go. We are going to try our damnedest to get to Grand Slam again this year. So we'll let you know if we're going to be in the house for that one.
Hell
I feel
yeah.
pretty good. I feel pretty good about it.
Me too.
And Kate, I think Mrs. Money said she's going to tag along. See, it's tough because we're going to be coming back from Chicago from Riot Fest, and then this happens middle of the week. So we'll see what happens.
She can hold me while I watch Eddie Kingston win the title and then CM Punk attack him.
And then if Tony Nese ever shows up, you can do the same for her. You can hold her.
Or Christian or Claudio. Claudio will be wrestling.
My goodness. You can be sure Claudio will be involved in some fashion.
But your wife would be in the baddie section in a second because she's the biggest baddie in the world.
I told her once or twice she should send her thing into the baddies.
She should apply.
She should. But she said it's for Sunny. And I said, yes, I agree.
It is
Don't
true.
forget, get to Stokely Hathaway and tell him the Mark Order Pod told you to get
tweet it.
Sunny in the goddamn baddies, please.
Tweet it.
Tweeted them at Mark Order Pod. All right, guys, that's all I got. Not really a lot of news and notes going on. Things have been pretty quiet on the AEW/Ring of Honor front as we're going into these pay-per-views. So not a lot of news and notes. So why don't we start to wrap things up? Kate, why don't you tell the people where you're going to be?
Everywhere. I tell you, everywhere. Tuesdays, the NXT post show on Fightful YouTube, doing whatever the fuck we're doing over there. Wednesdays here at the Mark Order Podcast. Fridays doing the AEW Rampage and SmackDown post show on Fightful YouTube as well. I have to get my dates for Excite Wrestling, but it is mid to late August. So we've got about a month to figure out what word I'm going to get in on commentary at a big stadium show. So that should be very, very fun. Looking forward to that.
Kate, do you have guest list access? Because I think we should get into the show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can swing the $10 ticket or $20 ticket for you.
No. I just want guest list access. I just want to roll up and be like, I'm on the list. Kate,
That's
put me
right.
on the list.
Yeah, Kate. You're a commentator. She gets paid the big bucks over there.
Yeah, of course. And she always works in a secret word that everybody is listening for.
I think chat member and professional wrestler LSG is gonna be on that show too. So
well, come on, people. Let's get it. No, that'll be awesome. So yeah, Kate, when you figure out those dates, obviously let us know. We'll plug it here and we'll figure out what word we have to work into the commentary on that night. You've been a good sport with that. And our fans have been pretty good with not doing like, vulgar stuff, like things that you can slide into the conversation. So
Right. So what we won't do is on episode 69 is we won't open it up for suggestions there. We'll wait until episode 70.
Oh, we're going to open up plenty of other things.
Heyo, like legs.
Boom. Kate, you missed it too because you were running Hollywood on us, but we said we're going to wear low cut shirts. We're going to show a little skin. I know I already do that a little bit, but we'll do some more. We'll show some skin. It'll still be enough to get past the YouTube censor.
Not you though, Kate. We want you in a full turtleneck like Christian.
No, yeah. I'm gonna come in a shroud.
Button it up. Schlong, why don't you put yourself on camera and tell people where you are during the week?
I guess I'll put myself on camera, but I really want people to know that she sucks.
They know.
You can find me Mondays and Tuesdays live tweeting AEW and
You didn't find me at the
AEW
Dave
Dark
Matthews
and
Band
AEW.
concert. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
Be hanging with my bros.
AEW Dark Elevation, AEW Dark. You can interact with me on Twitter at Mark Order Pod the rest of the week. I'm there. I've muted Kate because she sucks. She's the worst. No one likes her.
Derp. I unmuted myself.
But then I can do that, and she can't bring herself back on stream. So
That's right.
I don't
bring
know
her
why.
back on because I love seeing her give you the finger. It's adorable. It's like when a child accidentally does it and doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, she's so threatening. So that's where you can find me. And so Schlong and good night.
Well, I will say this because I didn't say it before, but Schlong mentioned it. We're on social at Mark Order Pod, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Find us on YouTube. And once you get there, you can click on our link tree in our profiles. And if you're, looking for our other socials to make it easier, we've linked you there. But the other thing, the most important thing at the moment, is the link for free sticker requests. It's the top button. Just click on it, and you can give us your name, your full mailing address, and the country you live in, and I will send you some free Mark Order stickers.
That's
the
right.
Shipping is free.
4 easy installments of $25.99.
Listen, we're trying to move stickers, Kate. We're not trying to put out, this fake news of like shipping and handling and installments. No. Stickers are free. There's no shipping cost. There's no handling cost. You just say to us, I would like some free stickers because I like you and I'd like to support you and I'd like to help tell my friends about you guys. So I'd like some free stickers, and I'll send you some stickers and a nice little letter of appreciation that we send out with our stickers. So please do that if you'd like to support us. We appreciate you and you for doing that, and everybody who has submitted their requests. Thank you very much for the support. The other thing is we thank everybody who's been watching us live on YouTube tonight. Great room again tonight. This chat room is always a lot of fun. Most people are watching on YouTube. We do get a few people now and again on Facebook. So if thank you for those who are watching us live or who come check us out after the fact. Subscribe to us on YouTube. That is very helpful. Set up alerts for whenever we put up, our next show and all that kind of stuff. If you're listening in podcast form, we 100% appreciate you guys too. So thank you for listening to us. If you have never checked us out in video format, you certainly should. Schlong with his backgrounds, us making
Kate
faces,
with her middle fingers.
Right, Kate middle fingering. A few times in the past, we've had Millionaire Matt shirtless on the show, which is always fun. You certainly would like to check out. You certainly should check us out in video form for Sexy 69 coming up. But if you're listening in podcast form, please make sure you're rating, reviewing, subscribing, all that kind of stuff wherever you're listening to us in podcast form. It does help us, even though you think it's annoying. We got to do all this stuff. It helps us greatly. Other than that, I don't appear anywhere else, just here on Wednesday nights on the Mark Order podcast. We already told you about Millionaire Matt Monday nights on the Shining Wizards, 7 p.m. He's got some great guests coming up. Bill Alfonso, and which member of Techno Team 2000?
Eric Watts, not
Eric Watts.
Chad Fortune.
I couldn't remember which one was there and was not. So make sure you're tuning into the Shining Wizards on Monday nights. Give the B show some love. We know this is the A show. Give the B show some love. We like to spread the wealth. And then just stay tuned for everything else. We've got some things in the works that we're working on. Additional content. I know we've said this a few times before, but I'm going to say it because then I have to do it. We've got t-shirts in the works. We are on the cusp of t-shirts. People have been asking us, how can I help you? T-shirts will help. We've got them coming. A few different designs, so stay tuned. We'll keep you updated on that. And also, as I said, we're going to be doing a Battle of the Belts 3 post-show special. Me and Mrs. Money will do that. Ryan Schlong and I are possibly working on doing a Ring of Honor post-show to see how that show went. So stay tuned. Follow us on social. Do all that stuff. Kate, lovely having you back this week, even though Ryan Schlong says you're the worst. Also nice seeing that you have a home and not a cardboard box.
It's nice feeling like I have a home and not a cardboard box, but just the same 1 hour route back and forth.
Very true. Schlong, always a pleasure having you here as well. Glad to see you're venturing outside the house a little bit more these days.
You want some Schlong, adventures?
I don't know what he just tried to say,
Kate,
but I guess he's swinging his schlong everywhere.
No, I knew how that sounded, and I still went with it.
All right. You guys, thank you again for watching and everything tonight. Make sure you tune in next week. Next week's the week. Sexy 69. We're gonna plan a couple things.
We're gonna be wined. We're gonna be dined. You're gonna be 69.
Boom. Because we're all young, dumb, and full of wine. That's right. So guys, thank you again. Check us out next week. Follow us on social, do all that kind of stuff. We appreciate it. And we'll see. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll get an appearance by Millionaire Matt again next week. I don't know. But I know one thing. If you're not tuning in for episode Sexy 69, you're really fucking up.
Yeah.
So
who knows? All three of us might have burnt asses next week. We'll see.
Oh, my ass will be red, but it won't be burnt.
Oh, snap. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. And by the way, stay safe out there. The PC police are on patrol.
This concludes the Mark Order podcast. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Join the Mark Order.